And good afternoon. Welcome to beautiful Cabinets Field in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm Mark May along with Mario Reyna, about to bring you a fourth round playoff between McAllen Memorial and Kerrville Tivy. It's game 2 of this series. It's a best of 3 series. Memorial taking game 1 on Thursday night. If Memorial wins game 2, the series is over. They advance to the regional final next week. If Tivy should win, then we would play game 3 right after game 2 ends. So we'll have one game or perhaps both games here for you here today. It's going to be Memorial, who's the official home team. They're in the third base dugout, so they will be on defense first, and it'll be Tivy coming to bat here in just a moment. Mario, you were here for Thursday's game 1. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Well, Mark, it was a very competitive game, as we expect in this fourth round. You know you're going to have good teams. Mm-hmm. It was very competitive. It was actually 3-2 going into the 5th inning, and that's when the Mustangs, they started hitting, got their they actually scored 5 runs, and that's when they put the game away. But the big deal in that game, Mark, even though the pitching was good on both sides, it was David On. He was actually, I guess we can say, David On was on.
Yeah.
Because he had 11 strikeouts, and he had a no-hitter through 6 1/3 innings. And then R.J. Rios was that reliever that came in, got the last 2 outs. So it was a combined no-hitter. It was a very competitive game. It could have gone either way. So the Mustangs better be ready, because this team, Tivy, they also lost their first game last week against Bernie Champion, who was the number 1 team in the state, and came back and swept them.
Tivy has gotten hot at the right time of year. Their overall record is only 18-19, but here they are in the 4th round of the playoffs, so they've really turned it around here since they were able to qualify. McAllen Memorial, same thing. They were 3rd in District 31-5A, but have gotten red hot right here at the perfect time of year, and they are already in historical territory. This is the furthest any Memorial baseball program has gone in the 44-year history of Memorial High School. And in fact, in that no-hitter you mentioned, I asked Coach Roque Cortinas if he remembers the last no-hitter for the Mustangs. He said that's the first one in his 2 years as head coach of the program. So it's been a while since Mustangs have pulled off a no-hitter, and of course the best time to do one is in the state playoffs.
And talking to both coaches, Mark, they pretty much agree that both teams are very, very evenly matched. They depend on their pitching, good defense, and timely hitting. So you're looking at 2 teams that are basically carbon copies of each other. And just like you said, they didn't win their district titles at home. But at the end of the day, it's in the playoffs where you need to win, and that's why both teams are playing this late in May.
Coincidentally, both teams have similar color patterns as well. You see the blue and white of Tivy as Stormy Rhodes, their center fielder, steps into the batter's box. The pitcher for Memorial is right-hander Manuel Villa. So here's the first pitch, just in winning game 2, and this is swung on. It's going to be a base hit for Tivy, right into left field. And Stormy Rhodes on the first pitch is aboard, and the Tivy fans come alive.
And how about that, Mark? On Thursday, they didn't have a single hit, and on the first pitch of the second game, there's their first hit. I was just going to mention that Rhodes was 0 for 2 in the first game.
So next batter is going to be the right fielder. This will be Bailey Blaker. Throw over to first base, and Rhodes is back in time. Give you the defense for Memorial. Of course, we mentioned Villa on the mound. We got Lucas Cabrera behind the plate. Eloy Lozano is at first base. Daniel Flores at second base. Give you the rest in a moment. And the first pitch to Blaker.
One thing I did notice, Mark, that when the Antlers got base runners, they were very aggressive, and they made things happen.
First pitch was a ball. Next pitch to Blaker. He lets that one go as well. Got away from Cabrera for just a moment, but he kept it in front of him. And this will be 2-0.
And Manuel Villa, the pitcher for the Mustangs, he is a UTRGV commit, only a junior. And he did a fantastic job of pitching in the third game again. No, it's in the second game against the Bulldogs.
And this is low, and it's going to be 3-0 now here to Blaker.
And, Mark, that's what the Antlers want to do. You're coming off of a loss. You want to see if you can throw that first punch, get that momentum back on your side early.
Oh, I think they've changed the count now to 2-1. Yeah, they're changing it now. That last pitch just got in there. And now this is high, and it's going to be 3-1 on Blaker. Meanwhile, the rest of the defense for Memorial, Jose Rivera is at shortstop, Emilio Presa at third base, Eric Serrano, the left fielder, Kane Coy in center, Jacob Sanchez in right. And that misses inside, and runners on the bases for first and second for Tivy with no out here in the top of the first.
And this is exactly what Coach Chris Russ for the Antlers was hoping. Immediate action, immediate pressure on Villa. But we saw Villa in the previous round against arch rival, the McAllen Bulldogs, and he was fantastic. So we'll see if he can settle down.
Yeah, Aiden Klein is the pitcher for Tivy, and he steps in, batting third in the order. Pitch from Villa. Swung on, and this is hit high into the outfield. Coy is underneath it and grabs that one for the first out. Runner tags up at second, is going to head to third. That's Stormy Rhodes. And so now runners on the corners with one out here in the first inning.
So with runners on first and third, Mark, I would expect Coach Russ to be aggressive based on how he played it on Thursday. I look for that runner on first to maybe go to second. They want to make things happen early. You know, you think about it, Mark. You lose, and then you had to go home. It's about 200 miles from here to Kerrville, Tivy. They had to think about it for a day. So, Coach Russ will be aggressive.
Hayden Neese, the next batter, he is the left fielder. Runners on the corners with one out, swing and a miss there for Neese.
And Neese was 0 for 3 on game one. Pretty much, Mark, you're gonna if I refer to what they did, it was 0 for something.
Yeah, no hitter for the Mustangs on Thursday, and squaring up to bunt misses, and I believe that's a strike. It'll be 0-2 now.
So here's a big pitch for Villa. If he can get a strikeout here, it'll go a long way for him to settle down and get back in the groove.
Yeah, with one out, Neese can still sacrifice Rhodes home from third base. It's the 0-2. And that's a strike. And Neese has struck out. Called strike there, and that draws applause from the Mustang fans.
And Manuel Villa, Mark, no wasted pitches, no purpose pitches to see if he could get the better of the swing. He just came right after him. What a pitch.
Yeah, so 2 outs in the inning now. That takes a little bit of pressure off here, the Mustang defense.
Look for the runner to go, Mark.
Got a force out at second base. The next batter is Connor Bloomer, the shortstop.
Bloomer was 0 for 3 against David Ahn in the last game. He struck out twice.
And that's a strike. And it seems like Villa was, a little bit off. He gave up a base hit on the first pitch. He walked the second batter, but now he seems to kind of settled in.
He did, and that's one thing we talked about in the series against Mac High, that he's very calm.
Runners on the corner, swung on and miss. It's strike 2.
And that was a good job by catcher Cabrera, Mark, because that ball was outside, and he got to it and prevented it from going to the backstop, because that means a run for the Antlers.
Cabrera, a signee this past week, be playing junior college ball this time next year. Congratulations to him. 0-2 with 2 out here in the top of the first. Runner going. And this is going to be a ball. We've got a stolen base for Bailey Blaker.
And Villa with a 1-ball, 2-strike count, he pretty much has whatever he wants to throw, whether it's a fastball, a curveball, or off-speed pitch. He's in control, but this is another important pitch so early in the game.
The stolen base takes off the force out. 1-2 with 2 out. And that's a called strike. And how about that?
Wow.
Nice job by Manuel Villa to maintain his composure. Strikeout the side there in the top of the first inning. And after 1/2 inning of play, there's no score in the game with the Mustangs coming up to bat.
We are about learning.
We are about safe environments.
We are about going the extra mile.
We are about exploring our horizons.
We are about opportunities for all.
We are about excellence.
And welcome back here at Cabinets Field. Mark May with Mario Reyna and the rest of our MITV crew. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. This is live stream action of this 4th round playoff match. It's the regional semifinal between Kerrville Tivy, the Antlers, against the McAllen Memorial Mustangs. Tivy pitcher is going to be a right-hander, Aiden Klein. Where's number 6? Then the rest of the defense for Tivy includes Tanner Beck behind the plate, Robert Johnson at first, Jaden Harrington at second base, Connor Bloomer is at shortstop, Aiden Hernandez at third, Hayden Crease at left field, Stormy Rhodes in center, and Bailey Baker in right field. Batting first for the Mustangs will be Eric Serrano, the left fielder, followed by Jose Rivera, the shortstop, and then Emilio Presa, the third baseman. And that's pretty much the same lineup they've been using throughout the playoffs. It's been a successful lineup, so why not?
Exactly. He's not going to change much. In the last game on Thursday, Serrano went 1 for 4, had a big double with an RBI.
Here's the first pitch to Serrano, swung on, fouled back. It'll be strike one. And Mario, I know both teams didn't really make much in the way of changes, did they, from Thursday night to today?
No, you would know that you don't expect changes this late in the year. Pretty much the teams are set. And so, no, that's basically 100%. Only the pitchers are the ones that are changed. So we'll see if the Mustangs can put pressure on. That was 2 huge strikeouts by Manuel Villa.
Here's the 0-1 to Eric Serrano. Swung on and a miss. That was a nice fastball there by Klein. It's going to be 0-2 now on Serrano.
You know, looking at the lineup, Mark, the bottom of the order, they scored 5 of the 8 runs for the Mustangs.
Good production out of the bottom half of the order. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be low and outside. It'll be 1-2 on Serrano. Kind of hot today. A lot of fans bringing their umbrellas, sunglasses, and I'm sure some sunscreen as well here at Cabinets Field.
Wow, the fans up here and even people in the press box, they thought that Serrano was going to get called out on strikes.
Yeah, it was a ball. 2-2 now to Serrano. Got a good eye there. Wind blowing pretty stiffly out toward left field. And this swung on, fouled back. It'll stay 2-2.
And sometimes if you have to have extra pitches because the strike wasn't called for a strikeout, it hurts your pitch count. It hurts your pitch count, Mark. But umpiring, in fact, I umpired many games on this field back in the day, Mark. It's not as easy as people think it is.
And here's the 2-2 to Eric Serrano. And swung on, and he strikes out. And Klein, with some terrific fastballs there, is able to get his first strikeout.
One thing about the Antlers, Mark, coming into the game on Thursday, I was informed that in the playoffs, their pitching staff had 56 innings where they had not allowed an earned run. So, talk about pitching, right?
Wow. Yeah, well, yeah, at the end of the day, pitching is what will determine how far you go. Jose Rivera, next batter, is a shortstop for the Mustangs. Looks at the first pitch at 4-1.
In the last game, Rivera went 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts, Mark. But this is a team game. He carried the against the Bulldogs. He carried the Mustangs with his hitting.
And takes a strike on the second pitch. It'll be 1-1.
Without his bat against the Bulldogs and the previous series against Harlingen South, the Mustangs might not be playing today.
Yeah, had some very big hits. And here's a big hit right here. This is on the left field, and it's going to be a base hit for Rivera. He's taking off for second base as the ball got away from the left fielder and is all the way at second. I think that'll be ruled a single and a error.
That will be the ruling. And one thing about the Mustangs that they have done, Mark, is that any time there's an error or mistake by the opponent, they usually make that team pay for that error. So we'll see if they can do this.
Yeah, the Mustangs now have a runner in scoring position as they bring up the third baseman, Emilio Presa, number 99.
And Presa went 2 for 3 on Thursday with a walk.
Rivera takes his lead off second. First pitch to Presa. Breaking ball is a ball.
And my compliments, Mark. We have a pretty good crowd on both sides, and the temperature is 92 degrees. So people are here to support both the Antlers and the Mustangs.
One-0 to Presa. Swung on towards center field. It's going to bring a run in. Runners surrounding third, sliding in safely, and it's a run scored for the Mustangs, and they take the early lead, 1-0 here in the first inning. Jose Rivera coming in from second base and scoring on that one. He was running all the way, wasn't he, Mario?
Yeah, he was, and one thing, Mark, he did a good job, Rivera, of reading the ball. Sometimes players might not know if it's going to be caught because it was kind of like a line drive, but he had a perfect reading. And that's what good baseball players do. Not only can you hit, but you got to be a good base runner. And Presa, like I told you, Mark, came into this game with a 2 for 3 night on Thursday, so he's a red-hot hitter.
Eloy Lozano, the first baseman, is next. First pitch is outside for a ball.
Lozano went 0 for 2, and he had 2 walks, but he had 2 strikeouts. So as a scouting report, I don't know what to tell you.
Next pitch misses low for a ball. It's going to be 2-0. So Lozano ahead in the count, has a runner on first base. Only 1 out in the inning. 1-0 Mustangs, bottom of the first. And a fastball missed inside. And now it's 3-0 to Lozano. Jacob Sanchez, the right fielder, is on deck. And this is a called strike, hit the outside corner, be 3-1 now to Lozano.
And Mark, as it is a reward for both teams being here, it's also a reward for the umpires, and I'll give you their names after this pitch.
3-1 swung on, grounder toward third, throw to second for one out, relay to first, and double play. Great defensive maneuver there by Tivy as Lozano hits into an inning-ending double play. And so after one full inning of play, it's the Mustangs 1, the Antlers nothing. We'll be back with the second inning right after this.
McAllen ISD has teamed up with Hidalgo County Head Start to offer a free program. It's the perfect opportunity for 3-year-olds. This all-day program will place them with a certified teacher. Other advantages include high-quality instruction, dual language lessons in English and Spanish, around-the-clock supervision, and it's free. Children not only learn academics, but their social development will skyrocket too. This fall, the program will be offered at 6 elementary schools. Restrictions apply, so call this number or visit the website and apply today. McAllen ISD's world-class pre-kinder program is now open to all 4-year-old children, and it's free. Just register through the Skyward system. Don't have an account? No problem. Contact one of our elementary campuses or the Student Outreach Department at 956-687-MISD. Give your child a solid start to their educational journey. Register for free pre-K today.
And welcome back. Mark May with Mario Reyna, the MITV Sports Crew. Our director is Roy Gonzalez. We also have Sam Juarez, who is on camera. And then also bringing you pictures for social media is Tori Alvarado.
And Mark, I was going to give you the umpires. And one thing I want to tell the fans is, how do they get the umpires? Well, both schools, they get together and they agree on the umpires. And they're both using their home chapters, which is pretty good. Sometimes they can't agree and they go UIL. But congratulations to the New Brownsville chapter and the Rio Grande Valley chapter behind the plate, Jim Hillard. We have third base, Roy Reyna. First base, Adam Manzano. And Raul Chapa.
All right, first batter up for the Antlers here in the top of the second inning, Adon Hernandez, their third baseman. Manuel Villa is the pitcher. 1-0 Mustangs. Swung on, miss, strike one. And it looked like Hernandez was ahead on that pitch.
That's a great pitch. And that's the thing that makes Manuel Villa so dangerous, especially if he can throw those pitches for strike, Mark. It's another one.
And strike two there as Hernandez caught looking.
Hernandez was 0 for 3, and the last two times he batted, he actually struck out.
Here's the 0-2 to Hernandez. And takes the ball outside. 1-2. By the way, I want to quickly congratulate the Falfurious jerseys. They were playing a playoff game here
They sure
today
were.
in Class 3A. They were the 1 o'clock game. This is the 5 o'clock game. A lot of games going on this time of year at Cabinets Field. Yeah, the 1-2 misses outside to be 2-2. Falfurious defeating the Industrial Pirates 9-4 today.
Yeah, Falfurias for many years, Mark. They've had a good baseball program, and they also had some good cross-country running teams.
Here's the 2-2 to Hernandez. Lets that one go. Good eye there. Picked up ball 3.
That was close. Too close for comfort, but the umpire just did not ring him up. But yeah, you know what happens here in the early innings, Mark? You try to figure out the umpire also to see what he's going to give you and not give you. And you got to throw those pitches that those umps like.
Full count now to Hernandez. And this is ball 4. Thought it was over for a strike, but it might have been a little high. And Hernandez is aboard, and that's the second walk allowed by Villa. So just like in the first inning, the Antlers have the lead runner aboard, or the lead batter, I should say, aboard. Next batter, Robert Johnson, first baseman. And this slow roller back to the pitcher's mound. Cabrera has it, throw to first. That's his only play and makes the out. But the runner, Hernandez, advances to second base.
Boy, Cabrera had a slow start on that. He didn't jump on it, but then he used his quickness. But something's happening. The umpires are getting together to talk to each other. And that's a sign of right there, Mark. If you look on the field with the umpires, they're talking to each other. And they're returning the runner back to the first base. And the only thing I can say either that the batter...
May have been some kind of batter interference or something?
I don't know, because it looks like the batter is back at bat. So maybe it was
you're right.
a foul ball initially could have been. So that's all I can say. Something happened with the batter. Maybe the ball hit him when he bunted. That's why the catcher was slow coming out.
So Johnson's back at the plate.
And the fans from Memorial are now giving the home plate umpire a hard time because there's been a lot of pitches that have been real close.
Yeah, Johnson stepped back in there with an 0-1 count and then picked up a ball. So now it's 1-1.
Yeah. Because of the way catcher Cabrera reacted when he bunted, Mark, I think he saw that the ball hit the batter. So that's why they return him back to bat.
Okay, so Johnson gets hit by a pitch here. And so he'll go to first, and that will move Hernandez now to second base.
And because Coach Chris Russ was willing to give up an out in this at bat, he wanted a runner on second with one out. And now with runners on first and second, and it is a batter in the lower part of the batting order, you can expect another sacrifice bunt here.
So, yeah, this worked out beautifully for Tivy. Like you said, they were going to willing to have a runner on second and concede an out, but now they've got first and second with nobody out as they hit the number 8 batter in the order, the catcher Tanner Beck.
Yeah, and then when you have the first batter got a base hit, Mark, so you want to set the stage for him. Expect a sacrifice bunt. There it is.
He's lined up for the bunt, but it takes a strike. It'll be 0-1. On deck is the designated hitter, Wiley Flores, who's batting in place of the second baseman, Jaden Harrington. And then they go back to the top of the order.
The bunt needs to go to third so the third baseman can field it.
It's the 0-1. Again, Beck was looking to bunt. Lets that one go by. And it's going to be 1-1.
Here's where Manuel Villa has to do it again. The pitcher for the Mustangs, he's got to get his composure. He's not getting some strikes that he usually gets. So he's got to find that strike zone.
Checks the runner at second. And this is bunted toward the mound. Villa picks it up, only play at first, and retires the batter. But 2 runners advance, and Tivy now has runners on second and third with only 1 out in the second.
And that small ball by Coach Chris Russmark, who was actually played with Texas A&M Aggies, was drafted by the Yankees. And he was very familiar with the Rio Grande Valley because you remember that professional team that was down there, the Rio Grande Valley Roadrunners?
Oh, yes.
He played on that team that was coached by Shad Treadaway, and Shad's dad, Reggie, was the assistant coach.
Yeah, Chad Treadaway inducted last year into the Rio Grande Valley Sports Hall of Fame. Next batter, bottom of the order, is the DH, Wiley Flores. And this is high for ball 1. Runners on second and third here for Flores. Only 1 out. On deck or at the top of the order is Stormy Rhodes, who singled back at the first inning.
Villa has to come after the 9th batter, Flores.
1-0 pitch. Swung on for a strike. It's going to be 1-1.
Because he blew that pitch by him, Mark. Don't waste your pitches. I mean, he blew it by him. He just come back and just fire some fastballs on this batter.
Wind still blowing out toward left field. 1-1 with 1 out. And this is swung on over the pitcher's mound, base hit. Runs will come in. This 1 run is in. Here's the 3-leg. Going to be close.
Wow.
Cabrera had the ball. I think he got the tag. He did.
Wow.
And so both teams with reason to celebrate as the Antlers tied up 1-1. But the Mustangs, thanks to a stellar throw by Kane Coy, that was an absolute dart to Lucas Cabrera. Cabrera was able to make the catch and make the tag in almost the same motion to prevent a go-ahead run.
You know, coming into this game, Coach Cortines told me about the beautiful defense that Kane Coy can play because of his speed. He didn't tell me he had a great arm. No wonder he's a quarterback for the Mustangs.
Oh, yeah, using his quarterback arm there to get that ball all the way from shallow center to home plate.
And when you get those big outs, Mark, and you prevent the run from scoring, and Manuel Villa can get out of this inning, it's not as bad as it could be. But congratulations to that ninth batter, Flores, for coming up with a big RBI.
Yeah, so we're 1-1 now with 2 out, top of the second inning here at Cabinets Field. Runners going. Here's the throw towards second. It's going to be wide, and Coy picks it up in center, and they won't concede another base. That was Wiley Flores who was able to get the steal at second, but he's going to end up staying there.
He got a big jump, Mark. He read it perfectly. And Manuel Villa, he has a long stride. He's a little slow coming home. So it was almost impossible for Lucas Cabrera to throw him out.
Stormy Rhodes at the plate. Pitch was a ball, by the way. Rhodes stranded at third after a single back in the first inning. That'll be a ball. It's 2-0.
Well, from up here, Mark, this umpire is not giving any strikes that look like strikes in the upper zone. But so far he hasn't done that for both teams. So he's being consistent.
Flores at second base. Here's the pitch to Rhodes. Looks at that one. It's a strike one.
And that's where Villa needs to see that is the strike zone for this umpire.
Two and one with 2 out. Runner on second. Swung on toward third. This is a base hit. Runner is rounding third and is headed home. Tivy will score and take a 2-1 lead. And Rhodes has his second hit in as many at-bats and is at second with a stand-up double.
And good job by Stormy Rhodes. Stormy pitched last on Thursday, and it's a good pitcher. He just ran out of gas, but Stormy is an Oklahoma State commit, and he's not doing it in this series with his pitching, but he's certainly helping himself out with his hitting.
That'll bring up the number 2 hitter in the order, Bailey Blaker, who is the right fielder, and he looks at strike one. 2 outs in the inning. Runner on second. 2-1 lead for the Antlers. Pitch to Blaker. Swung on, missed. Strike 2.
So those are 2 big hits by Flores and Rhodes to get the 2 runs. So can you imagine if they wouldn't have gotten that out at the plate, Mark? They would be sitting pretty here with a big rally.
It'd be 3 runs and only 1 out at this point. Swung on and strike 3. And a nice little strikeout there for the pitcher, Manuel Villa. So the Tivy Antlers are able to strike back, and they've got the lead, their first lead of the series. They lead 2-1 here in Game 2. Mustangs coming up to bat in the bottom of the second right after this.
I just wanna
McAllen ISD, every voice matters, a community dedicated to shaping the future of every student with a legacy of success and accomplishments. Join McAllen ISD, where every student is a story waiting to be told.
And we're back here at Cabanis Field in Corpus Christi. Region 4 semifinal. Class 5A, Kerrville Tivy leading 2-1 here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Mustangs winning game 1 by an 8-2 score on Thursday night and need one more win to clinch the series.
And we know at this time of the year, when you're playing in the fourth round, you got to have good coaching. I talked to everyone about Coach Chris from Kerrville. So Coach Cortines also played at his home campus, McAllen Memorial, and played college ball at UT Brownsville and Texas A&M Kingsville, pro ball in Mexico with the Monterrey Sultanes, coached at Rio Grande City. He's in second year back at Memorial, and boy, are the McAllen Memorial Mustang people happy that he came back, because he's helping to make some magic here with that motto that they have, which is, why not us? And that's awesome. I mean, it's just like, like saying, well, why not us, right? I mean, nobody expected them to be playing this deep into the playoffs, but they certainly earned a changing culture there. And a lot of these pitchers that are pitching, Mark, they're coming back next year.
Yeah, they've got a pretty young team. A lot of talent coming back. And still more opportunity to make magic this year. First batter up is Jacob Sanchez. He's number 5 in the order. Looks at ball 1. Sanchez, the right fielder. Aiden Klein is the pitcher, right-hander.
Against Mackay in that series, Jacob Sanchez, he had a beautiful series, Mark. He had some key runs that he scored. So let's see what he can do here.
The 2-0. And looks at strike 1. You mentioned professional baseball teams and the Roadrunners. I know another team from that era, played out of Harlingen, the Rio Grande Valley White Wings. And this is swung on, hit toward left, but it's going foul. It's going to be 2-1. Yeah, the White Wings, I covered the very first game in White Wings history, Mario. It was right here at Cabanis Field. They played the Corpus Christi Barracudas. When the former Astro, Alan Ashby, was the White Wing manager.
Now, this field has a big tradition with all the Corpus schools and Robstown and Corpus Christi, Callallen.
The 2-2. And this is inside. It'll be a full count on Jacob Sanchez. Yeah, you mentioned Robstown. That's another school with a great baseball tradition. The Cotton Pickers.
They definitely take their baseball very seriously here in the Coastal Bend area. Well, that was a good response to that first run by the Mustangs, that the Antlers responded with 2 runs in the top of the second inning.
And the pitch is high for ball 4. And Sanchez, the lead batter of the second inning, is aboard.
Mark, I don't have stats for when a runner gets on base right away, but especially with a walk, more often than not, it'll come back to haunt you.
We saw that in the last inning as the Antlers were able to put runners on the bases and eventually score some runs with their small ball. They lead 2-1 right now, have 3 hits. Mustangs have 2 hits. First pitch to Daniel Flores is a strike. Flores, the second baseman for the Mustangs.
Daniel Flores in the last game was the only player for the Mustangs that actually scored 2 runs.
Throw over to first base. Sanchez back in time. The stadium holds about 3,000. Much less than that here today. And here, runner going for second, high throw, and a stolen base there for Jacob Sanchez. And that draws some applause from the Mustang faithful.
Well, anytime you can get a runner to second, Mark, without giving up an out, no sacrifice bunt, obviously it gives you more opportunities to bring him in.
So it's 1-1 to Flores now. Mustangs have a runner in scoring position with nobody out in the second inning.
Will Coach Cortines do a sacrifice bunt now?
Open stance here for Flores.
You know, and I bet you right there when the pitcher stepped out, if it was probably called by Coach Chris, he wants to see if the batter gives it away. Like, are we going to bunt? There it is.
From Klein, there it, yeah, it did square up to bunt, takes a strike. 1-2 to Flores.
And now with 2 strikes on Flores, I think it will be doubtful that he's, you know, because if he bunts it foul here, Mark, it's an automatic out.
So 1-2. And this misses outside. It'll even up the count, 2-2. I noticed where the first baseman is lined up, Robert Johnson. It looks like he was anticipating a bunt.
You know, Aiden Klein has done a wonderful job as being the second line pitcher for the Antlers, but he's struggling a little bit with his control.
And this is popped up, foul. No opportunity for the catcher. It'll stay 2-2.
Something else I can tell you on the scouting report that the catchers, they used 2 catchers on Thursday. They were struggling with pass balls, Mark. So that's something to take a look at.
2-2 from Klein is high and a full count to the second batter in a row. Sanchez eventually walked.
Well,
He's at second base right now, and now Flores has a full
Mark,
count.
something I noticed after the pitch, Aiden Klein, he was looking towards the dugout, like indicating that maybe he needs a reliever.
It's very hot out there, over 90 degrees.
And he
on
keeps
that turf
looking over
field.
there, Mark.
And Flores draws ball 4, and he'll be on first base. Sanchez already on second after a walk and a steal. And the Mustangs have 2 runners aboard here in the bottom of the second with nobody out. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Gael Aguirre. Aguirre, who's batting for the pitcher, Manuel Villa.
Yale went 0 for 3 on Thursday, but he did have some contact. He didn't strike out at all. He made contact on all 3 of his at-bats. He also walked. He stole second. So I expect another bunt to get yourself a runner with less than 2 outs at third base.
So Aguirre steps into the batter's box. He'll bat from the right side of the plate. Squares up to bunt. Lets that one go. It's high for ball 1.
And now Klein is even missing with his number 1 pitch, which is a fastball. So the Mustang batters need to sit on the fastball. I don't think he wants to throw any off-speed pitches.
Big lead being taken at first by Flores. And this is going to be popped foul over the backstop.
The other thing about bunting, Mark, it looks pretty easy, but it's not as easy as it looks.
Well, they call it a lost art at the major league level.
Well, I guess you don't make a lot of money if you're bunting all
No.
the time. There's
The
those
big money
stats.
is in the big hits. 1-1 to Aguirre. Again, he looked like he wanted to bunt and takes ball 2.
Well, that's a sign of a good hitter right there, Mark, because, yes, you want to bunt him over, but you got to make sure it's a strike. It was outside. And a good take by Aguirre.
Lucas Cabrera, the catcher, on deck.
Oh,
And that's a fastball inside. Misses, going to be 3-1.
maybe now Coach Cortines with a 3-1 count. Who knows? He might let Gil hit away.
Or force Klein to throw a strike. And, yeah, it does take a strike there, and it'll be a full count. 3 batters in a row that Klein has gone to the full count, so he's really racking up the pitch count.
He is. And now, I mean, no choice. Gale has to hit away with the two strikes on him.
Still nobody out in the inning here in the Mustangs' second. Mustangs trailing 2-1. And that's ball 4. The fastball missing. Looked very close on the inside corner, didn't it, Mario?
Yeah, it did, and the fans were not happy at all. So Coach Chris Russ is going to come out. He has to come out. Yes, there he is. He's going to come out and talk to his pitcher. He just seems to be struggling with his control. And early on, with the second batter, he did look to the dugout for help. Like something's just not right for him. And with the bases loaded, Mark, the Mustangs have done a lot of damage. And coming up to bat is Lucas Cabrera. Lucas Cabrera went 2 for 3 in the last, and he had several RBIs, so he's looking pretty good. That's, you're looking at it. And if we look down the right field line, you see activity over there in the bullpen. You look at, they're getting ready, and this is what a coach does. He comes out, calm down your pitcher, and now they're getting some bullpen activity, warming them up, because Coach Chris Russ knows that he has to stop the bleeding early, and he saw what happened in the 5th inning on Thursday where the Mustangs put up a quick 5. Cannot afford to have that.
Yeah, Klein did not walk anyone in the first inning, has walked 3 consecutive batters to lead off the second, and it's now Mustangs with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Lucas Cabrera, the catcher, at the plate and takes strike 1. And as you mentioned, Mario, some activity starting up in the bullpen for Tivy.
Yeah, there's no tomorrow, or shall I say no tonight, for the Antlers. They have to win this game.
And that would force game 3, which would be break the tie in our best of 3 series. Ball 2 now to Cabrera. Cabrera, number 8 in the order. Kane Coy is on deck, the center fielder. 1-1 now to Cabrera. Swung on, missed, and picks up strike 2.
And Klein
threw that one
he
so
did.
hard his hat came off.
Yeah, no, he's got a good fastball, but the problem is that because he's not hitting his curveball or slider for strikes, he has to come in with fastballs. He just does not have control of his off-speed pitch.
So 1-2 pitch to Cabrera. Swung on, missed, and Cabrera strikes out.
Huge out for Klein.
Yeah, big out for the Antlers there, but the bases are still loaded. With 1 out in the inning, Mustangs still feeling good about their chances as their center fielder Coy steps up to bat. And on deck now at the top of the order is Eric Serrano.
Coy went 1 for 3 on Thursday. He made contact on all 3 at-bats. He did not strike out and had a single brought in 2 RBIs.
First pitch to Coy. Fastball misses outside, and it'll be 1-0. Mustangs with a win today would move on to the regional final, Region 4 Class 5A championship. And this is swung on, going to be a blooper toward right field. It drops in. 1 run comes in. Here's the relay. A second run running to the plate is also safe. Mustangs bring in 2, and they regain the lead 3-2 here in the second inning.
That's what I was talking about Kane Coy, Mark. That's why I brought up the fact that he went 1 for 3, but he did not strike out. So that tells you that he's seeing the ball very well. And he had a big key hit in that 5-run 5th inning. And anytime you get anything from your 9th hitter, Mark, that is a big bonus. And here's where the Mustangs have been dangerous, Mark. They already scored a couple of runs. They still have a rally going, 1st and 3rd. Your leadoff man coming up to bat. Coy, give him a couple of pitches. Because of his speed, he might end up at 2nd. This is another opportunity for the Mustangs for a big inning.
Runners on the corners. 1 out here in the second inning. Jacob Sanchez scored from 3rd base. Daniel Flores scoring from 2nd And here the runner going. They throw over to first base. It's a double steal, and they're able to make the out at home. That'll be out number 2, but the Mustangs still have a runner in scoring position at second base. That's a Coy who stole second.
And Coach Cortines is talking to the third base umpire that he thinks something happened. He wants an explanation because there's no way that runner at third, he didn't hustle home. I think they expected a balk or something, but nothing was called, Mark. And the big deal here is that did the pitcher step out? And if he stepped out, then he becomes like a fielder. But it looked like Cortines is explaining that the pitcher looked like he started the pitching motion, and then he stepped out. And you cannot do that because as soon as he started the pitching motion, Coy took off to second. He wouldn't have done that if the pitcher would have stepped off. So
that's true. And then the pitcher threw over to first base,
Yeah.
allowing the base runner Coy to easily get second. And a good job by Robert Johnson to realize there was a double steal on. Johnson quickly, instead of trying to get the out at second, threw home to the catcher Tanner Beck, who was able to easily tag out Aguirre, who was coming in from third. But you're right, Mario. Aguirre did get a poor jump from third base.
I think Aguirre and Coach Cortines both felt that was a balk, but we don't have replay. That's just, as a former umpire, that's something that I see from up here. The big deal is, did he start his pitching motion? Because there's no doubt he did step off. So that's a huge out. It kills the rally, basically, if no more runs come in.
Yeah, 2 outs, and here's a swung on down the third base line. This is going to be foul ball, just barely, and it'll be strike 1. Boy, that looked impressive there. That was Eric Serrano who swung away on that.
Because right now there's 2 outs with Coy at second, and if that other previous play wouldn't have happened, then the Mustangs would have been sitting pretty, more than likely, runners on second and third with 1 out, with your leadoff man, Serrano, at the plate.
Aguirre, by the way, was who came in from third and tagged out. He was out 1-3-2, pitcher first, catcher. And this is inside for a strike. It'll be 0-2 now to Eric Serrano.
And that's the pitch that Aiden Klein is having success with. It's an inside fastball.
Coy at second base. Serrano in an 0-2 hole with 2 out. And that misses outside. It'll be 1-2. Serrano striking out in the first inning.
Serrano started off the ball game on Thursday with a double.
1-2. This is swung on, and it looks like it goes foul on the third base line. It'll stay 1-2. By the way, the field dimensions, 319 feet to the left foul line, 318 down right field, and straightaway center is 394.
What kind of wind conditions do we have today, Mark?
Yeah, it's a pretty brisk wind. It's steadily blowing out towards left, and occasionally the wind shifts to blowing out to straightaway center. Right now it's center. And this is swung on, fouled back. It'll stay 1-2.
I think Aiden Klein is sticking to his fastball, Mark, because he's struggling with his second pitch. He's not throwing it in the strike zone, and he doesn't want to risk throwing it. And remember, the catcher struggled on Thursday. There was about 2 or 3 pass balls.
Haven't seen any today. 1-2. This is swung on. Base hit into left field. Runner is coming around third. Here comes the throw. It's going to be close. It's a out at the plate. And that'll end the inning. Mustangs don't like it, but the Kerrville Tivy Antlers enjoyed it.
Well, I think the umpire called safe first. And then all of a sudden, he, what do you call it? He called him out because he says that the runner threw his elbow. So Coach Cortines again has to talk to the umpire behind the plate. Now, I don't know if I want to say anything like this, Mark, but the umpire is representing the Kerrville, Tivy area, and 90% of the time when you make the calls, they usually stick, and more than likely, maybe the batter runner did put out his elbow and caused the ball to be jarred loose, because at the end of the day, the ball was there. And you got to give credit to Coach Cortines. He's being aggressive. It has to take a good throw to end the rally. And the left fielder, he got to the ball with plenty of time, and he made a throw. But initially, the umpire called him safe, and then changed his mind and called him out and signaled that there was an elbow thrown. Let's go up.
Can he toss the runner for that as well?
He can, but you know, it's going to be very doubtful since the umpires are talking this long, whether they'll make a change in this call. But we don't have the privilege of going to where does Major League Baseball go. I know for play reviews.
Yeah, they've got their play review, I believe, based in New York from a remote site. Hayden Crease, by the way, was the left fielder who made that terrific throw all the way to Beck at home that beat the runner easily. They were able to tag out Coy, who was trying to come in all the way from second base.
And that doesn't surprise me, Mark, because Crease is a pitcher.
And we see the Mustang battery already getting warmed up as they anticipate this call will stand.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There is a conversation. And if there's conversation, there could be a conversation saying, and they're going to talk to the two coaches.
Yeah, they're bringing the two coaches over.
So this is not a done deal, because usually when it's a done deal, you just say, no, let's go. And it wouldn't have taken that long of time for the discussion.
We'll see how the Tivy coach reacts if they're changing the call here. So if it does, that makes it Mustangs up 4-2 with still 2 out in the inning.
Well, it looks like the Mustang defense is getting on the field like they're thinking there's not going to be no change to call. But one of the umpires is trying to explain what happened. The only thing that happened is that the catcher was not at home plate where the ball came. It came off to the left side. So we know that I am surprised that this is taking this long.
Now, why did they call the runner initially safe? Is it looked like the tag was well ahead of the runner touching home plate?
Well, that's what I didn't see the ball coming loose, but obviously the ball maybe was juggled a little bit and he didn't hang on to it. So
yeah, he may not have had firm control of it, or it could even have had it in his right hand. And
yeah,
if you tag
but
with the
they're
glove
going to
with no
stick to the
ball.
call because the coach from Kerrville, Tivy, is going to go ahead and go to his
So the
coach.
call will stand. It's 3-2 after 2 innings of play. We'll be back with the third inning right after this.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Line? Hello? Hello?
Attendance today, success tomorrow. Attendance matters.
And welcome back to Cabinets Field in Corpus Christi. Mark May with Mario Reyna, about to start the third inning. It's been an exciting game so far. We've seen runs in each inning. Both teams getting 2 runs across in the second inning. Mustangs had gotten a run across in the first as well, and they lead it 3-2 on 4 hits. Tivy has 3 hits.
And you know, Mark, even though the Mustangs came back to take the lead, 3-2, because of that play at the plate, it basically stopped a possible rally. And don't forget that the other confusion was also, did the pitcher balk? And they, you know, so that's what happened. Fly out.
Here's the first pitch, hit toward left field. It's going to be caught for an out by Eric Serrano. And the batter, Aiden Klein, is out.
And that's good that Manuel Villa came in with one pitch and he got an out, Mark, because that last inning lasted a little bit longer than usual. So I was wondering if he was going to get cold.
There's a strike one to the batter, the number 5, Hayden Neese. Neese striking out in the first inning. Pitch from Manuel Villa is strike 2.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that happened, Mark, after that inning. The fans are in it now. You can hear them. The Memorial fans were not happy with the calls, and the Antler fans are happy with the call.
0-2 pitch, swung on, foul ball, left side. It'll stay 0-2 on Neese.
And, Mark, I see a lot of moms out here. I don't know if you see them, and you see the umbrellas. And I know it's it's May, so happy Mother's Day to all these moms that they go under a lot of stress themselves. We know that, right, Mark?
Indeed. Number of fans from both communities making the trip to Corpus Christi. It was a long trek, about 150 miles for McAllen, about 200 miles for Kerrville. Over here on the Gulf Coast of Texas. 0-2 pitch. This gets away from Cabrera. Nobody on, though. And it's going to be 1-2.
And speaking about moms, I will send a shout out to my mom, my mother-in-law, Linda, and my Aunt Tila, who just recently passed away. I can guarantee you all those three. They were sports nuts, Mark, somewhere up there in eternal glory. They're out here. They're watching this game, wishing me best wishes.
1-2 with one out.
Nice.
And that's a called strike there on Hayden Neese. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
Coach Roque Cortines has to be happy, Mark, that he got 2 quick outs for Manuel Villa, because we know how dangerous he is and how dominant he is once he gets into the groove. He shut out the Bulldogs in the last game, didn't he? Mm-hmm. He pitched, which was game
That's
2.
Right. Yeah, he won that one 2-0. That was game 2 of that series that evened it up 1-1, and then the Mustangs taking game 3 by a 12-2 score. There's a strike called against Connor Bloomer. Bloomer, the shortstop, struck out in the first inning. This is swung on, gets through the pitcher. It's going to be a base hit up the middle, and Bloomer is aboard with 2 out in the Tivy third.
And on that one, you can say that was a mistake by Manuel. I mean, it was a good pitch, but it was right down the pipe, and that's not the type of pitcher that I saw against the Bulldogs. He was hitting the corners. He was hitting the strike zone upstairs, but that one was just like right down the pipe.
4th hit of the game here for the Antlers. Adon Hernandez comes up. Now, Hernandez walked back in the second inning, eventually scored off an RBI by the DH, Wiley Flores. Runner was going. Pitch was a strike.
And you do look at one thing that Manuel Villa, he's just a junior, Mark. He might have to work on. His stride is very deliberate, real patient, real calm, but he does give the runners an opportunity to get big jumps on him.
The 0-1 to Hernandez.
Nice pitch.
Is just misses inside. That's going to be 1-1. Bloomer at first base. So the 1-1 here to Hernandez is swung on. This can be a base hit left field. Bloomer will stop at second base, and Hernandez at first base. And the Antlers have something brewing here with 2 out in the inning, have been able to put 2 runners on board.
So now Johnson's the better. What did he do the last time?
Yeah, Robert Johnson. He was hit by a pitch, and then eventually he was thrown out at the plate. If you remember that play.
Yes.
That prevented the Antlers from having an even bigger inning than they had. They got 2 runs across. Could have been 3 or more. If not for a great throw by Coy and a tag by Cabrera. 2 outs in the inning here for first baseman Robert Johnson. And this could be a high grounder to first base. Lozano has it. He'll tag the bag for out number 3. So the Antlers strand 2, get no runs across in the top of the 3rd inning. Mustangs still ahead, 3-2, and we'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd right after this.
Hey, ready. To go. Hey, where's he at?
Not here today, man. Attendance today, success tomorrow. Attendance matters.
McAllen ISD has teamed up with the Hidalgo County Head Start to offer a free program. It's the perfect opportunity for 3-year-olds. This all-day program will place them with a certified teacher. Other advantages include high-quality instruction, dual language lessons in English and Spanish, around-the-clock supervision, and it's free. Children not only learn academics, but their social development will skyrocket too. This fall, the program will be offered at 6 elementary schools. Restrictions apply, so call this number or visit the website and apply today.
And welcome back. We're at Cabanas Field in Corpus Christi, a neutral site between the Kerrville Tivy Antlers and the McAllen Memorial Mustangs. 4th round of the state playoffs. Winner goes to the 5th round. Mustangs have never been to the 4th round before. Furthest they'd ever gone in the program's history was the 3rd round, and that was last time they did that was back in 1990 when their coach, Roque Cortinas, was a player. He was a pitcher for the Mustangs back then. That was his junior year. And now as a coach, he's come back and taken them even further. Total so far through 3.5 for Tivy, 2 runs on 5 hits with 1 error. For the Mustangs, 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors.
Yeah, this is the way it was going in the game on Thursday, Mark. It was a close game, 3-2. And then in the 5th inning, that's when the Mustangs exploded. But they had some opportunities here that you got to take advantage, and unfortunately it did not happen. And that's just baseball. That's all you can say. That's baseball.
Now, if Tivy wins this game, we will stay on the air for Game 3, which would decide the series. If the Mustangs win this game, there is no Game 3. And the Mustangs move on to the 5th round. Now batting first here, Mustangs have some heavy artillery coming up, Mario. Jose Rivera here stepping up to the plate.
Yes, sir. You know, Jose Rivera all season long has been the MVP on offense, as per Coach Cortines calls him. He comes into this game batting .378.
So here's Rivera. Looks at the first pitch, takes a ball. It's a fastball that missed by Klein. That's inside. It's 2-0 now to Jose Rivera. Rivera back in the 1st inning. He singled, then actually took second on an error by the left fielder and eventually scored. It hits this one foul. It'll be 2-1.
You know, and observing Rivera now for some games, boy, he's an aggressive hitter. If he misses, Mark, he swings hard. It doesn't matter.
2-1. Could be 3-1 now. If that missed outside. Yeah, Rivera scoring back in the 1st inning off a single to right field by Presa.
His nickname is Cheve or Cheveto.
3-1 pitch, inside misses, and it's another walk issued by Klein.
Mark, did that last walk come in to score in the last inning?
In the last inning, there were 3 walks issued. 2 of them eventually scored.
And that's what we talk about.
Yep.
I mean, those walks will always, some way or the other, they come back to hurt you. And the other thing, even if they don't score, it's making your pitcher throw more pitches.
That's the fourth walk issued by Klein. Runner on first with nobody out. That's a called strike there on Emilio Presa.
That was a perfect pitch right on the corner.
Second inning in a row that the Mustangs have put the lead batter on first base. Fastball caught the outside. It's going to be 0-2.
2 back-to-back perfect pitches when you need them, especially if you're coming up with a third batter in the lineup.
It's the 0-2 offering. And this is swung on, hit toward short. Short has it. A toss to second for 1 out. Throw to first in time. Double play. Second double play of the game by Tivy. And there are 2 down with nobody on now for the Mustangs.
That was an excellent, excellent pickup by the shortstop for Tivy. And I give Presa, give him credit. He hit the ball hard, but right at Bloomer. Bloomer did a great job of scooping it up. And because Presa is not a speedster, it was an easy, tailor-made double play.
And that brings up Eloy Lozano, the first baseman, batting from the right side of the plate. So a left-hander.
Back-to-back left-handers in the lineup for the Mustangs.
First pitch missed. That pitch is good for a strike. It's 1-1.
And it's interesting once you get a double play, Mark, how the pitcher looks totally different with the confidence. There you go.
Yeah, fastball inside. It's 1-2 now to Eloy Lozano. Lozano hitting into a double play back in the first inning.
You can tell Klein wants the ball right away when things are going well. In the other innings when he was struggling, he was just taking his time. Now he's ready to go.
One-two pitch is swung on, fouled back. It'll stay 1-2.
And it's a good thing he swung at that one, Mark, because that's the strike that Klein got with the previous batter on the corners.
The bottom of the third here at Cabinets Field. 1-2 pitch is a ball. It'll be 2-2 now to Eloy Lozano.
Both teams are used to playing under pressure, Mark, because they had to win 3-game series.
Comes back with the fastball, and that's going to be ball 4.
There. Yeah, I think it hit him.
Oh, did it hit the pitcher?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So next up is Jacob Sanchez, the right fielder, who walked back in the second inning, eventually scored off a 2 RBI single by Kane Coy. There's a called strike 1 against Sanchez.
And Klein started him off with a curveball, and that's the pitch he's been missing. If he can continue to throw strikes with a curveball, he'll be all right.
And this is swung on, hit toward third base, picked up, throws to first, is in time, and that retires the side. So after 3 innings of play, no score by either team in the third inning, and the Mustangs still hold a 3-2 lead as they head to the fourth. We'll be back in just a moment.
McAllen ISD is a place that offers rigor and choice. Want to study for a college associate's degree? We've got that. Looking for rigor tied to global standards? We've got that too. And coming this fall, a new collegiate academy giving students more career choices than ever. Call today.
And we're back here at Cabinets Field. 3-2 our score. Mustangs in front of the Tivy Antlers. MITV bringing you live stream coverage of baseball. We had the series last week with the Mustangs and Bulldogs. And now game 2 and possibly game 3 here today between the Mustangs and the Antlers. See a couple of seagulls occasionally flying across the infield. We're very close to the ocean here in Corpus Christi. See, coming up to bat for Tivy here in the 4th inning. They've got their number 8, 9, and 1 batters in the order. Tanner Beck, the catcher, followed by Wiley Flores, the DH. And then they'll be at the top of the order, Stormy Rhodes, their center fielder, who's already 2 for 2 today.
And the weather now is 89, so it's getting a little bit better.
Slightly cooler out there. And Tanner Beck, who grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. Made a big defensive play back in the 2nd. Tag out at first, and here's a line drive picked up by the third baseman. High throw. First baseman forced to make a tag. He does. It's Lozano. Makes a terrific play after the throw by Presa was off target.
Man, that is a hot corner, Mark, because that was a shot. And Presa did a good job of coming up with it. His throw was offline, but that's why you have your teammate, Lozano, was able to get off the base and catch it and touch the better runner.
So Wiley Flores, the DH, up to bat. Singled, had an RBI in the 2nd inning.
That was a big hit, Mark, because he's at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, and he eventually scored himself.
That's right.
First pitch was a ball. And the 1-0 swung on, strike, as it's fouled back.
So right now, Mark, I know there's some games that have already been played, but coming into the series, how many teams were still alive? 16?
We were down to the final 16, yes. The winner today will be in the final 8. It's pretty elite territory in the entire state of Texas. This is high, 2-1 now, to the DH, Wiley Flores.
And congratulations, Mark, to the Lady Panthers from Weslaco. They're going to the Final 4. They clobbered a San Antonio school. I mean, we're talking brutal scores.
Pitch from Villa. And there's a called strike. It's going to be 2-2 on Flores.
It looked like the batter was taking all the way, hoping for a 3-1 count. Good pitch by Villa.
Villa entered this inning with 48 total pitches, so doing well
Perfect
in that
pitch.
category. And here he gets a called strike. And another strikeout there for Villa, who now has 5 Ks on the afternoon.
And when the batter goes and leaves the batter's box before you have an opportunity to call a strike, Mark, he knows that was a strike. But that I would have to think the batter thought he was going to get a fastball, but he got a beautiful slider by Villa. But let's not forget, in the last inning, he had 2 quick outs, and then he allowed 2 base runners.
First pitch is a ball. This is against, they're at the top of the order now, Stormy Rhodes. Rhodes 2 for 2 today with an extra base hit as well. So 2 for 2 with an RBI.
He'll be playing for the Cowboys at Oklahoma State.
It's the 1-0 pitch. And this swung on. Bloop toward right field. Right fielder running over there. Dives for it. Unable to make the catch. Meanwhile, the Rhodes is around first. Now rounding second as the relay comes in. They'll throw toward third. But Rhodes is in there safe at third base with 2 out here in the top of the 4th.
The right fielder had to go a long way there, Mark, and maybe the wind played a factor. Who knows? But he did get to the ball. It just didn't come up with a catch.
They've ruled it a hit on the scoreboard.
And that's probably the right call. And that makes Rhodes 3 for 3 today.
That would give him a triple as well. So he's got a good chance for the cycle with a single, a double, and a triple in his first 3 at-bats. Next batter's Bailey Blaker, who is 0 for 1, struck out in the second inning after walking in the first.
You know, and Villa, in the game against Mac High, he did make some real important, solid pitches when he needed to.
This is the 1-0, swung on, ground ball. It's going to be fielded by the third baseman. It's just barely fair, and they throw toward first base, not in time. A run comes in, and we're tied 3-3. Rhodes was able to score from third after the batter runner Blaker was safe at first and beat the throw.
So give him a credit. They're going to give him a RBI for Blaker. It was a good pitch by Villa, but the big bounce made it hard for Presa. He had no chance for a throw at first.
Aiden Klein, the pitcher, now up to bat. He has flown out twice. Takes a ball 1. 3-3 our score here in the top of the 4th inning. Runners going. Here's the pitch outside. Throw to second, not in time, and Klein has a steal.
And that's what the Antlers will do to you if you allow base runners. They're going to run on you. They're going to get to second. So a single turns into a double. You're in scoring position. You got a good hitter up at the plate. Villa has to get strong. He needs to make the pitches. He's down 2 balls and no strike.
Yeah, Blaker takes a lead off second base. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Klein. That's going to be 3-0 now on Klein. A lot of action today. 3-3 our score. Antlers have out-hit the Mustangs 7-4. And this is outside. It's going to be ball 4. And the Antlers, with 2 out in the inning, have 2 runners on board.
And I think Coach Cortines, yes, he's coming out of the dugout. He's going to come and calm Manuel Villa down. And Mark, he started off with 2 outs.
Yeah, had that ground out and then a strikeout and looked strong as ever, and then gave up that triple to Rhodes. Then Blaker singled, bringing Rhodes in to score, tying up the game at 3. And Blaker, meanwhile, stole second base, and Klein has just walked. So Antlers have runners at first and second with 2 out, top of the 4th.
And almost every inning, the Antlers have had base runners. But Villa has made some real good pitches to get out of the jams. You know, last time against Mackay, UTRGV commit Manuel Villa, he threw a complete game shutout. Only allowed 4 hits, and the Antlers already have 7 hits.
So this is Hayden Neese. Struck out twice.
And he hit him.
And is hit by a pitch. And now, believe it or not, the bases are loaded. All this happening with 2 outs. A run has already come in.
And I look down the left field line, It appears like the Mustangs now have a pitcher warming up. Big spot in this game, Mark.
The Antlers looking to regain the lead. They've gotten the bases loaded here with 2 outs in the 4th. Here's Connor Bloomer, and this is fouled back, strike 1. Bloomer singled back in the 3rd inning. That was with 2 out. He was eventually stranded at second base.
And Bloomer's a left-handed batter. That was a pretty good swing, Mark. He was almost on top of that ball.
A 1 pitch to Bloomer. Lets that one come inside, and now it's going to be 1-1.
And now Manuel Villa is not hitting on his off-speed pitch, so more than likely he's going to come in with a fastball, and you know Bloomer is going to be sitting on a fastball.
Bloomer, the shortstop. 2 out, bases loaded. Lets that one go, but they appeal to the first base. It's going to remain a ball.
Yeah, the umpire called it a strike. It could have gone either way.
Yeah, I mean a strike, excuse me.
And that puts the batter in the hole with 2 strikes. So that's a big difference of 1 pitch, Mark. When you're up 2-1, I bet you there's a difference of about 200 points in the batting order or your batting stat.
1-2 with 2 out. And this is swung
Trouble,
on toward
trouble.
first base. First baseman Lozano has it. Has no play at all. Nobody covering first. All the runners are safe, and a run has come in. And the Antlers have regained the lead now and lead it 4-3.
And that's what happens, Mark. When you put the ball in play, things happen. And that's what David Ahn did not allow on Thursday because he had 11 strikeouts. And then R.J. Solis came in, and he struck out 2 more batters. So there wasn't a lot of opportunities for the Antlers, Mark. But actually on that one, Manuel Villa did not cover first. So he hurt himself. It could have been a close play at first base.
And Bloomer now 2 for 3 in the game. We got runners on all bases here for the next batter, Adan Hernandez. Two runs have come in this inning. And the bases loaded, all with 2 out. The pitch to Hernandez. After ball 1, that was low for ball 2.
The other thing I've noticed on Manuel Villa, Mark, is that now he's like almost trying to aim his pitches. He's not as relaxed as he has been in the previous games. And he's just got to get his composure. He's done it before. There's no reason why he can't do it again.
Pitch from Villa outside. It'll be 3-0 now to Adan Hernandez. Hernandez walked in the 2nd, singled in the 3rd.
And I think Villa knows that if he doesn't get this out, he might come out of the game.
And this is high, ball 4.
Yeah.
That brings in a run. It'll be 5-3 now for Tivy.
And here comes Cortines.
And Cortines coming out. Second walk of the inning and 4 overall issued by Manuel Villa. And Manuel Villa gets some applause as he comes out of the game. His team trailing 5-3.
And let's not forget, Mark, Villa's a junior. Got a lot of potential. But these kids are 15, 16, 17-year-olds, and there's a lot of pressure on them. But we can guarantee you this, without his pitching performance that he had in the 2nd game against McAllen Bulldogs, the Mustangs might not be playing today. So who's the new pitcher coming in, Mark? It looks like number 5.
And number 5, that would be Gael Aguirre, the designated hitter. course, he would just bat for himself, and he could pitch as well. And Agita warming up now. Agita, a right-hander.
Like I mentioned before, Mark, you know, Tivy, they didn't win the first game, but because they've won some important games down the road, they're a good ball club. Anytime you beat the number one team in the state, you know you got a good ball club. And they had to come back after they lost the first game. So they're used to this situation. But it is very important for Giel Aguirre to throw strikes. Don't give the Antlers any more easy runs. This could be a big key in the game, whether the Antlers will take control of the game or where the Mustangs will keep this game close.
So Manuel Villa goes 3 2/3 innings, has struck out 5, walked 4, allowed 8 hits, and 5 runs all earned, and he's still responsible for 2 more runners. And now Robert Johnson, and he's the last man who hasn't batted in this inning for the Antlers. So they've batted around. And the first pitch by Agita. Agita, the right-hander. Pitch rolled away from Cabrera, but all the runners stay home.
And anytime you're a reliever, Mark, those first 2 pitches, those are the hard ones to get your strikes, to get that confidence on your side.
And there's a strike. Fastball down the middle, and it's 1-1 here.
Well, I don't know. The Kerrville Tivy fans thought that was right up the middle. Mm-hmm. I could hear them all the way up here.
The 1-1 to Johnson. Outside, it's 2-1. Johnson hit by a pitch in the second inning, was eventually thrown out at home, then grounded out to first in the third inning. So he's 0 for 1 today. And this is swung on, foul ball on the left side. It'll be 2-2 with 2 out. The 2-2 pitch, everybody moving. And that's low. It'll be full count now.
And that was a close pitch. I want to come back to this pitch to see what happens, Mark, how important it's going to be in this game.
It's a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. All the runners moving. Ground ball to first. Lozano has it and steps on the bag to retire the side. But damage done by the Antlers in the top of the 4th inning as they get 3 runs across and take the lead 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back.
Wasn't Mike supposed to close the gate? Mike's not here today.
Attendance today, success tomorrow. Attendance matters.
And welcome back. Mark May with Mario Reyna. We hit the bottom of the 4th inning. Mustangs down by 2 runs now, 5-3. after Tivy does a lot of damage. Their first two batters made an out, but then they got to the top of the order, and Rhodes started it off with a triple that led off to a 3-run inning with 3 hits and 2 runners stranded on base. Tivy's had a lot of base runners today, Mario. They have 7 they've left on base. They have 8 hits, and of course 5 runs to show for that.
Yeah, it's a seesaw battle.
And for the Mustangs, coming up here in the bottom of the 4th, it'll be the second baseman, Daniel Flores, followed by the pitcher, Gael Aguirre, and then catcher, Lucas Cabrera.
This is a real good battle, Mark, as the Mustangs started off 1-0 in the first, and then the Antlers came up with 2 in the top of the second to take a 2-1 lead. Then the Mustangs responded with 2 in the bottom of the second to make it 3-2. And the Antlers are coming back. Oh, they came back in the 4th, and now they have a 5-3. But, Mark, that was such a big pitch right there with the bases loaded. The fact that Aguirre was able to throw a strike and good defense by Lozano to get the 3rd out and to keep this game close. And in the last couple of innings, or the last inning, Klein looked like he was getting confidence. But I think we have a new pitcher, don't we, Mark? I'm not 100% sure. He just has a different...
no, it's still Klein.
Okay, Klein.
Number 6 out there. And here's the first pitch, a strike to Daniel Flores.
That 5 almost looked like a 6 from up here. Now you know why I don't umpire baseball anymore, Mark.
Actually, it was a ball. It was low to Flores. And now he takes a strike, and he'll be even at 1-1.
And Klein is now, he's able to throw the strike with his off-speed pitch, which is really important.
Yeah, it seems to have gotten better control in that last inning. And seems to have regained his confidence. It's 0-2 now to Daniel Flores. So they've corrected the count. It was I said 1-1, but they corrected it to 0-2. But it's now 1-2. That last pitch of ball. And there's called strike 3 on Flores.
And that's what you want to do, Mark, as a good pitcher. Your team just put you ahead by scoring 3 runs. You got to respond, and you got to have a shutdown inning.
That'll bring up Gael Aguirre. Came in to pitch in the last inning, got the last out with the bases loaded. And he walked back in the second inning, was eventually thrown out at home on a double steal attempt. Takes strike 1.
There you go. I mean, you can see the difference in Klein. I mean, he wants the ball right away, his mannerisms. He looks like he's getting his momentum on his side.
Here's the 0-1. And it's inside for ball 2.
I'm going to send a shout out to somebody from Kerrville, to Laverne Bowles, proud grandpa of Carson Bowles.
Swung on and missed. That last pitch a strike, by the way, so the swing makes it strike 2. One and 2 with 1 out. Nobody on here for the Mustangs in the bottom of the 4th. They trail 5-3. Swung on and missed, and Aguirre becomes the second strikeout victim of the inning.
And the Mustangs, they lost the momentum, and it's going all to Aiden Klein. I mean, now he's bringing the stuff that he probably always had as he struggled in the first 3 innings.
This brings up the catcher, Lucas Cabrera, struck out in the second inning. Comes up with 2 out. So 1-0 to Cabrera. And there's a called strike. It's going to be 1-1.
Klein is now hitting the strike zone for strikes.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And this is swung on. It's going to be strike 2. Seemed low. Tried to grind it out, but it's going to be 1-2 now.
And now Klein, with his fastball going and his curveball going, he can throw whatever he wants.
1-2 pitch. Lets that one go. It's going to be a ball. It'll be 2-2.
Let's not forget that the Mustangs had 2 outs already in the book, the top of the 4th, and then gave up 3 runs.
2-2 swung on, popped up over the third baseman. A shortstop settling under it. Now it's the left fielder comes over. That ball kind of moving in the wind, but a nice catch there by Hayden Crease to retire the side. And big cheers from the Tivy Antler fans as their team gets 3 runs across and takes the lead, and then they hold the Mustangs scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. So after 4 complete, it's 5-3 Antlers. We'll be back for the 5th inning right after this.
I just wanna.
At McAllen ISD, every voice matters, a community dedicated to shaping the future of every student with a legacy of success and accomplishments. Join McAllen ISD, where every student is a story waiting to be told.
And welcome back. We're here at Capital Field in Corpus Christi. 5-3 the score. Antlers in front. Antlers scored 2 in the 2nd and 3 in the 4th to get their 5 runs. Mustangs had 1 run in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, and have been held scoreless in the 3rd and 4th. So Gael Aguirre, the pitcher for the Mustangs here as we enter the 5th inning. And for Tivy coming up to bat will be their catcher, Tanner Beck, who led off the 4th inning. As the Antlers batted around in the back in the 4th and got 3 runs across.
Well, we know the job for Gael Aguirre is to keep the score within 2 runs. 5-3, as you know, Mark, anytime you get a base runner, you'll bring the time run to the plate. So that is the big deal here. And I like to give Gael Aguirre credit because, I mean, bases loaded. The Antlers had just scored 3 runs, full count, and he made the pitch. He didn't walk the batter, made him swing. And first baseman Lozano did a good job on the defensive side, and it stopped the rally.
So here's Beck to lead off for the Antlers. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts. And this swings at the first pitch, ground ball to second base. Over to first is in time to retire Beck. And there's 1 out in the Antler 5th.
And Mark, who are the 2 young men that signed to go play college ball recently for the Mustangs?
Lucas Cabrera was one of them.
Okay. Was
I'll
Daniel?
check in a moment for the
was
other
Daniel
one.
Flores the other one?
It might have been. Check here in a moment. So back 0 for 3 now is Wiley Flores, the DH, who is 1 for 2 today. Comes up. Flores with a RBI single back in the 2nd inning and then struck out in the 4th. Swung on, missed, and the count is 1-1.
And the winner of this game, Mark, who would they play? Leander?
Yep.
Rouse? Is that the way they say it?
Oh, I think so.
I think that team beat Victoria East, swept them in 2.
Now time called, 2-1 on the batter. At the bottom of the order. And you got Stormy Rhodes, who's been the hottest antler at the plate, on deck right now.
Yeah, that guy just needs a home run for a very difficult baseball feat to accomplish, which is a cycle.
And there's a strike. Could be 2-1.
Good job by Giel. Playing a very, very important role here as a reliever.
And there he strikes out. And there's going to be 2 outs in the inning.
But in this game, Mark, the Mustangs have had trouble after getting 2 quick outs. They've allowed a lot of base runners, especially in the last inning. Everything happened after 2 outs. And this young man would be the MVP of the game today with a 3-for-3 afternoon.
Yeah, it has 3/4 of the cycle already with a single, a double, and a triple. Usually the triple is the hardest one to get. Would need the home run to complete the cycle. Wind blowing out to center right now. Here's the pitch from Gael, the 1-0.
And I could see. Oh,
misses, it looks like. It's 2-0.
I think you didn't miss, Mark. The umpire did. I mean, the fans are giving him a hard time. But, Mark, I can see why this young man is going to Oklahoma State. He has some good stuff. And we'll probably see him next year with the Cowboys.
And there's ball 4. And that will put Rhodes aboard. So Rhodes has reached base all 4 plate appearances today.
And with 2 outs, Mark, expect Stormy Rhodes to attempt a steal.
And you're asking about the 2 baseball signees. Yes, Luca Cabretas and Daniel Flores, like you said. You're right, Mario, signing with Luna Community College earlier this week.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. I'm sure they're going to go to Luna Community College and do a good job there. And we also know that next year, because they were juniors, Manuel Villa will go to UTRGV and David on to the University of Houston. There he goes.
1-0 to Blaker. Runner is going. There's the throw. A good throw. And they got him. Great throw by Cabrera. That was a dart to the shortstop, Jose Rivera. And the Mustangs have retired the side, and they give up no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left, or actually no one left, in the 5th inning. So after 4.5 innings of play, it's the Antlers 5, the Mustangs 3. We'll be right back.
We are about learning.
We are about safe environments.
We are about going the extra mile.
We are about exploring our horizons.
We are about opportunities for all.
We are about excellence.
McAllen ISD's world-class pre-kinder program is now open to all 4-year-old children, and it's free. Just register through the Skyward system. Don't have an account? No problem. Contact one of our elementary campuses or the Student Outreach Department at 956-687-MISD. Give your child a solid start to their educational journey. Register for free pre-K today.
And we're back here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mustangs trailing 5-3 here at Cabaniss Field in Corpus Christi. Gorgeous turf field here on the Gulf Coast.
It's a beautiful facility for a school district. All the Corpus Christi schools play on this facility.
And we'll have Kane Coy, the center fielder, come up to bat here. He's at the bottom of the order for the Mustangs. And then we'll be back at the top of the order with Serrano and Rivera.
And even though Kane Coy is batting ninth, he's had a real good series. If you can get him on base with his speed, good things usually happen.
He had a 2 RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Was eventually thrown out at home. Pitch from Klein. Coy looks at that one. It's ball 1. Outside, ball 2.
And now the Kerrville Tivy fans are giving plate umpire a hard time. What the Mustangs need to do, Mark, is get some base runners. Put the pressure on them, knowing that they have to win this game.
The 2-0. Inside. And Kane Coy is ahead, 3-0. The Mustangs threatening to put the lead batter on first base. And
That's a
there's
good
a
pitch.
strike.
And defensively, Coy, early on in the game, he threw out a runner at the plate.
It's the 3-1. Looks at that one. It's strike 2. Full count now on Coy. And what was it you had told me one time about as an umpire or referee, how you can gauge if you're doing a good job?
Well, you do.
By the fan reaction? And there's the swung on toward third. It's a line drive out, and Coy is retired.
Good job by Coy, at least trying to put the ball in play. But, yeah, as an umpire, I mean, you know there'll be 1 or 2 fans out there that they'll never agree with you. But when you have a big group of fans that are giving you a hard time, I would always think like, well, maybe they might be right.
Yeah, or if both sides are upset.
Right. And one of the things they want,
means you're doing it right.
The key to umpiring, Mark, is to be consistent for both teams. And I got to give credit to this umpire. He is consistent where both sides are giving him a hard time.
And Serrano, the top of the order, looks at ball 1. Serrano 1 for 2 today, swings and pops that up foul. That'll be 1-1 to Serrano.
And the reason, Mark, that keeping Kane Coy off the base or even Serrano is because Jose Rivera is on deck. And he's your big guy, man. He can pop it out of here the way he did against McAllen.
This fastball swung on and a miss. It'll be strike 2 on Serrano. It's 1-2 now. Nobody on here in the Mustang 5th.
And recently, in the last couple of innings, some of the Mustang batters are not looking good because Klein is now throwing strikes.
This is outside. It'll be 2-2 now on Serrano.
And even though that was outside, Mark, that's a good purpose pitch, trying to set up the batter.
Essentially, that's one the pitcher can waste, can't he, to
Absolutely.
set up the strikeout pitch.
It's a mind game.
So here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, and it's popped back. It'll stay 2-2.
The batter was a little late on that one. I don't know if Klein will come back with another fastball. And because he is throwing now his curveball or the slider that he has for strikes, he might throw another one. There it is.
That was an off-speed pitch. and is inside for ball 3. And we got a full count on Serrano.
Because he's up by 2 runs, he'll probably come in with his fastball now that he's throwing it for strikes.
Klein over 90 pitches in the game now.
And could he be getting tired? Because now, I mean, it's hot out there.
3-2 with 1 out. Swung on. This is hit toward left field. Left fielder moving under, and Crease makes the catch. And that will be 2 outs in the Mustang 5th.
Serrano did a good job of at least putting the ball in play.
Jose Rivera will step up with nobody on and 2 out.
And it seems like Aiden Klein has found his rhythm, throwing strikes.
This will be outside for ball 1.
He has, the last 2 innings, he has not allowed any runs, and he's 1 out away with no runners on base for 3 innings in a row to throw up a 0 on the scoreboard.
It's Hayden Neese who made the nice catch a moment ago in left field. And this is high, and it's going to be 2-0 now here for Jose Rivera.
I can guarantee you Coach Chris is happy with this guy batting and nobody on base.
That was inside. It'll be ball 2 now. Or excuse me, ball 3. And there's a called strike. 3-1 now to Jose Rivera. Rivera 1 for 1 today. Singled and scored in the first inning, and then walked in the 3rd. And walks again here in the 5th inning. And with 2 out, the Mustangs have a runner aboard.
And this is who you want at the plate also, Mark, your 3rd batter.
Yeah, this brings up Emilio Presa, big number 99 there. He's 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first inning, scoring Rivera, in fact, and then he grounded out into a double play in the 3rd.
Presa is batting .396 before the start of this game.
This swung on and missed by Presa. To be 0-1. Mustangs trying to climb out of a 5-3 hole. Swung on and missed. It'll be strike 2 on Presa.
Very good pitches. No fastballs so far.
And swung on and missed. That's strike 3, and that'll end the inning. And the Mustangs able to get a runner aboard, but bring no runs across. They trail 5-3 after 5. We'll head to the 6th inning. We'll be back in a moment.
McAllen ISD has teamed up with the Hidalgo County Head Start to offer a free program. It's the perfect opportunity for 3-year-olds. This all-day program will place them with a certified teacher. Other advantages include high-quality instruction, dual language lessons in English and Spanish, around-the-clock supervision, and it's free. Children not only learn academics, but their social development will skyrocket too. This fall, the program will be offered at 6 elementary schools. Restrictions apply, so call this number or visit the website and apply today. McAllen ISD is a place that offers rigor and choice. Want to study for a college associate's degree? We've got that. Looking for rigor tied to global standards? We've got that too. And coming this fall, a new collegiate academy giving students more career choices than ever. Call today.
Who's on one?
Attendance today, success tomorrow. Attendance matters.
And we're back here in Corpus Christi, Game 2 of our best of 3 series, the 4th round of the state baseball playoffs, Class 5A. It's 5-3, Antlers in front of the Mustangs. Antlers had 2 runs in the second, 3 runs in the fourth. They've got 8 hits of the game with 1 error, and the Mustangs, meanwhile, 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, and then they've been shut out for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. They have 3 runs on 4 hits with no errors.
And that shutout innings you can attribute to Aiden Klein kind of settling down and throwing more strikes. But once again, it's so important that Giel Aguirre, the reliever, does not allow any more runs.
So Aguirre, it's his first pitch, just swung on and missed. This is number 14, Blaker, the number 2 hitter in the order, up to bat. He's 1 for 2 today with a strikeout and an RBI single.
And this is what makes catching so difficult, Mark. You're back there. You're getting all the foul balls, all the foul tips. They can hit you at any time. And, not everybody can be a catcher, put it that way. But, Lucas Cabrera's a tough kid. He'll stay there. And he's getting a nice round of applause. It's also a little hot. And we're already at the 2-hour mark in this game, Mark, and we're starting the 6th inning. And that only tells you there's been a lot of base runners on both sides, a lot of pitches by both teams.
And this is a called strike. Hits the outside to be 0-2 now to Blaker.
Gail's doing a real good job, Mark. He's using not only throwing fastballs, but his curveball slider. He's throwing it for strikes.
And this is fouled back. It'll stay 0-2 on Blaker. Or no, they're going to say drop third strike?
No, I think the batter wasn't sure, Mark, if he had swung. It was kind of like a check swing, so he wasn't sure. But once he saw that the ball was back there, he said, why don't I try it? Get on base. And actually, on the game on Thursday, it was a strikeout, but pass ball by the catcher that allowed the Antlers to score their first run.
Pitch from Gael. So it's 1-2 now, and Blaker is back there batting. Now 2-2. Yeah, Mustangs with an 8-2 victory on Thursday to take game 1. Despite giving up 2 runs, they did not give up a hit. They had a combined no-hitter in that game, 2 pitchers. And this is popped up in the air to left center, left fielder running under it, and it drops in between both of them. And the runner, Blaker, slides into second with a double.
Mark, that is a huge error because instead of having an out, you have a runner in second with less than 2 outs. That third run, if you can take a 3-run lead, I can give this batter the signal from up here, Mark, more than likely. The way Coach Chris Russ has been playing his strategy, he's more than likely going to bunt him over and have a runner on third with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, and it's scored as an error, not a hit, so no double there for Blaker. Officially, he loses an at-bat there. But he's happy to be on second base. Is that just simply dropped in between the center fielder and the left fielder there?
The other thing I was going to say that because Aiden Klein is the third batter in the order, he's usually a good hitter. He's a lefty. He can pull it.
Oh, very close to
and it did hit
the
him.
Inside. Maybe it did hit him.
It did hit him.
And it's going to be a warning here by the umpire?
I don't think so. He's been throwing strikes, and that one just got away from him. So the pitcher got hit, and they'll have a courtesy runner for the pitcher.
See, the courtesy runner is going to be number 1. Now check the roster. Oh, Guy Flores, they announce it on the loudspeaker. Yeah, indeed, Guy Flores.
Now, there's a bunt try. That's how big those runs are, Mark, because if you're willing to go with your fourth batter in the lineup, if you're willing to have him bunt.
Yeah, this is Hayden Neese. Struck out twice, has been hit by a pitch. And the 1-0 is high. It's going to be ball 2.
And there is activity down the left field line for the Mustangs. Coach Cortinas has somebody warming up. Look where the first baseman's playing, Mark.
Oh, yeah, just to the left of the pitcher, anticipating the bunt here. So the 2-1 pitch. And again, Neese was squared up to bunt. It'll be 3-1.
You know, Mark, and when you know that the batter's willing to get the out, then the pitcher knows he's got to throw a strike. Just throw a strike and take your out. But sometimes that's the hardest strike to throw, when you know you need to throw a strike. So with a 3-1 count, if Guillermo Aguirre cannot throw a strike here, the bases are going to be loaded with no outs.
They were able to load the bases back in the 4th, bring in 3 runs eventually. And here the 3-1 is going to walk the batter, and it will indeed be bases loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning for the Antlers, looking to add to their 5-3 lead.
And it looks like Coach Cortines is going to allow Guillermo Aguirre to continue pitching. I know this is a dangerous batter. What has he done so far?
I was looking at the walks. That's just the first walk issued by Aguirre. And Connor Bloomer, yeah, he's had a good day. He's 2 for 3.
A hit by Connor will go a long way in for the Antlers.
So 0-1, nobody out. Bases loaded, and the ball gets away from Cabrera. A run will come in, the runners will advance, and the Antlers take a 6-3 lead with nobody out in the 6th inning.
And you'll take that if you're Kerrville Tivy.
And how would you rule that one, Mario?
I don't know. It was so hard to see. I don't know if it bounced in front of. The main thing was could Cabrera has stopped it. Might have bounced like at home plate, so it was hard for him to block it.
The second run of the game by Blaker. Meanwhile, Klein now at third base and Neese at second base. 2-1 pitch outside. It'll be 3-1 now to Bloomer.
And after a lot of these pitches now, Guillermo Aguirre, as soon as he makes a pitch, he looks into the dugout. I don't know if he's looking for help.
And there's another walk, and the bases are loaded again, still with nobody out.
Looks like Coach Cortines is coming out. And more than likely, he's going to make a change. Not yet. Third base umpire is still waiting. There you go. He is calling for a reliever. Coach Cortines knows that he's got to stop the bleeding right now.
So, yeah, we'll have a pitching change. And while we do that, while we take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
At McAllen ISD, every voice matters. A community dedicated to shaping the future of every student with a legacy of success and accomplishments. Join McAllen ISD, where every student is a story waiting to be told. McAllen ISD has teamed up with Hidalgo County Head Start to offer a free program. It's the perfect opportunity for 3-year-olds. This all-day program will place them with a certified teacher. Other advantages include high-quality instruction, dual language lessons in English and Spanish, around-the-clock supervision, and it's free. Children not only learn academics, but their social development will skyrocket too. This fall, the program will be offered at 6 elementary schools. Restrictions apply, so call this number or visit the website and apply today.
All right, welcome back. Nathan Ortiz is our new pitcher, warming up for the Mustangs, right-hander. So Aguirre pitches 1 1/3 innings, strikes out 1, gives up 3 walks. And of course a 6-3 lead right now for the Kerrville Tivy Antlers. So the batter, new batter that is going to be number 9, Adon Hernandez. Hernandez comes up with 3 aboard and nobody out here in the 6th inning. If the Tivy Antlers win this game, the series will be tied 1 game apiece, and we'll have a game 3, 30 minutes after game 2 ends. Here's the first pitch. This is swung on, fouled back. It'll be 0-1 here to Hernandez. Hernandez walked and scored in the 2nd inning, singled in the 3rd, and then walked again in the 4th. So he's 1 for 1 today. Antlers threatening to put on a big inning here. So there's still nobody out. That was low, and it's going to be 1-1.
And give Cabrera credit on that mark. It could have been another wild pitch. Did a good job of getting in front of the ball and kept it in front of him. Saved a run.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hernandez looks at that one, and it misses low. It'll be 2-1. Here's the 2-1. This is swung on towards short. Short has it. Could be 2. 1 out. And then a high throw. Runners will be safe, and a run will come in. And it'll be actually 2 runs score, so it'll be 8-3 Antlers.
And that's what one pitch does to you, Mark, by putting the ball in play. A couple of runs come in, and now the Antlers have control of this game with a score 8-3. During the break, Mark, I got an explanation on that play that happened where Kane Coy, what happened was that the umpire actually had ejected him. And the umpires got together and decided that he did not deserve an ejection, so they allowed him to stay in the game. That was a big
that was
discussion.
Kane Coy. We did
Right.
see him come to bat in the last inning.
Yeah, so that was the explanation that was given to me.
So next batter is Robert Johnson. Johnson 0 for 2 today.
And you got to give credit to the Antlers, Mark. How many hits do they have up there in the scoreboard?
Yeah, 8 hits.
So they've put the ball in play. They've taken their walks, and they've capitalized. That's what the Mustangs did in Game 1. And in case it does go 3 games, Mark, both teams have good starters for game number 3, just in case.
And this is swung on towards second base. Base hit. Runner goes to second, will stay there. And then we have the batter, Johnson, safe at first.
And there's only 1 out. Now, the only difference, Mark, that I see that in case the score holds up and you play 30 minutes later, you have the momentum on your side. Whether how the Mustangs won on Thursday and then they waited 2 days to play, it kind of calms down everything. But when you have to play 30 minutes after you just lost the game, you really got to bring it in case the Mustangs cannot come back in this game. You never know.
So here's Tanner Beck, the catcher, swings on the first pitch, pops it up into right field, and the out is made. That'll be 2 outs in the inning.
And Coach Cortines will tell you that the little things. He talks about that in his keys to victory, good defense. And there was one there that started a rally and a couple of errors here and there and walks. And that's why you find yourself down 5 runs.
And here's the DH, Wiley Flores, bottom of the order. Comes up with 2 out and runners on first and second. Tivy has brought in 3 runs in the fourth and 3 runs here in this inning. Now lead it 8-3. Two and 0 to Flores. Flores 1 for 3 today. Struck out twice and has an RBI single. Here's the 2-0. And it's going to be low for a ball. It'll be 3-0 now here to Flores. If Flores gets aboard, then the Antlers will have batted around again as their leadoff batter, Stormy Rhodes, will come to bat. And there's a called strike. 3-1 now to Flores. Once again, Nathan Ortiz is the pitcher. Came in this inning. Third pitcher used by the Mustangs today. And that's low for ball 4. Now the Antlers will bring up Rhodes, and then all 9 batters will have made an appearance here in this inning.
And look who's coming to the plate, Mark.
You got the Mustangs' nemesis, Stormy Rhodes, who has a single, double, triple, and a walk today. And he comes out with 2 out and the bases loaded here in the 6th inning. First pitch is low and inside.
And if you're looking at why maybe Coach Cortines is not bringing in another reliever, Mark, it's more than likely that he wants to see if he can get out of this inning, but he wants to conserve his pitchers just in case he needs them in game number 3.
Yeah, the Mustangs only down to just 6 outs left, and 5 runs they would have to make up to force extra innings.
And pitcher Aiden Klein, he found his groove there in the 3rd inning.
You don't want to run out of pitchers. 2-0, and this gets away from Cabrera. The runners will advance, and another run comes in. The runner coming in is Adan Hernandez, and he scores to make it 9-3. And it's a 4-run inning here in the 6th inning for the Antlers.
Well, if this score stands, Mark, they basically beat each other almost by the same score. So if it does happen, that 3rd game is going to be a good one.
So runners on 2nd and 3rd here for Rhodes, and a line drive caught by the 3rd baseman Presa, and that retires the side, but not before the Antlers get 4 runs across. They increase their lead to 9-3 after the top half of the 6th inning. The Mustangs coming up to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning right after this.
I just wanna
We are about learning.
We are about safe environments.
We are about going the extra mile.
We're about exploring our horizons.
We are about opportunities for all.
We are about excellence.
And welcome back. We're at the bottom of the 6th inning as Mustangs trail 9-3. They've got just the 6th and the 7th inning left, trying to make up 6 runs to force extra innings. And like you said, Mario, it's kind of that tough call there for Cortinas, who has to kind of weigh the balance of his chances of coming back in this game and also having enough pitching left for the 3rd game.
You're absolutely right. Not an easy choice, but once you're down 6 runs, you got to be thinking with only 6 outs to go. You got to be thinking ahead. Now, as you and I know, Mark, in case we go to that 3rd game, the Mustangs have some real good pitching still available. Hugo Rodriguez pitched very well against the Bulldogs in the last series. He's got good stuff. He is a lefty. And then in the bullpen, R.J. Rios has done a good job. He's also a lefty. And in game number 1, the Antlers had problems with David On, who is a lefty. So we'll see what happens if we get there.
Eloy Lozano to bat first here for the Mustangs. Takes a called strike. Lozano, the first baseman, 0 for 1 today, is grounded out and was hit by a pitch.
I expect nothing but off-speed pitches because Lozano has had problems with it today. So why give him a fastball?
Yeah, looked at ball 1 on the outside, 1-1. Again, Klein tries to catch that outside corner, misses again. He's 2-1. Yeah, Klein was started off shaky, giving up 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Hasn't given up a run since. This is swung on, base hit to the right side, and Lozano is safe at first base. And the Mustangs have the lead runner aboard here in the bottom of the 6th.
And the other thing the Mustangs need to do, even though they're down 9-3, is get some runs and get a little bit of momentum back on their side so that they won't go into the 3rd game a little flat.
Nobody out, 1 on here for the Mustangs as Jacob Sanchez now steps up to bat. Sanchez 0 for 1 today, but did walk in the 2nd inning, eventually scored there.
The thing about baseball, Mark, everybody talked about it would be low-scoring games. And in the first victory, 8 runs by the Mustangs and 9 in this one. You just never know.
Here's a called strike on Sanchez. It'll be 0-2 for him now. So here's the 0-2 pitch to Sanchez. Swung on, ground ball toward 3rd. It fielded, throw to 2nd is wild. And the runners will be safe. So it's an error on the throw. And runners aboard at first and second with nobody out here in the Mustang sixth.
And it looks like the Antlers they've relaxed too much, Mark. I mean, Klein has been on a roll, and now he's got a runner on first and second because of an error. And I don't know if the Mustangs can have a big comeback in them, but, try to create some situations here so you can go into that third game if it happens with a little bit of confidence on your side.
So here's Daniel Flores, the second baseman. He's walked and struck out. Nobody out. Runners on first and second for the Mustangs. Pitch from Clyde is high, and it's ball one.
Of course, we know the Mustangs wouldn't be here right now, Mark, if they didn't win some key games in district play just to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, both of these teams are examples of playing their best baseball at the right time of the year.
And we always talk about, Mark, and how everywhere in all levels, basketball, football, winning that clinching game that puts you to the next level is the hardest game to win.
Batter calls time, steps out. Got Lozano at second, Sanchez at first. Flores at the plate. And this is high for ball three.
And now all of a sudden, Klein is having trouble with the strike zone, and that's what happens when you get base runners on base. He knows he has to throw strikes. He's got 6-run lead, but he's struggling.
And takes a strike right there. Gael Aguirre, who is a DH, back to DH now after pitching briefly in this game, is on deck. And Klein, who has pitched brilliantly since the third inning, trying to get out of a jam here. This is swung on. It's popped up into left field. Left fielder selling under it, may have lost control of it. The ball went down somewhere. Anyway, everybody on the Mustangs is moving. A run is coming in. They're not sure where the ball is. Another run comes in. This could be inside the park, as they can't find the ball anywhere. It was lost in the wind. And the Mustangs will have a 3-run inside the park home run, and they've cut the deficit in half, trailing now 9-6.
Well, if the ball is somewhere in the field, it's okay. But if I think it bounced out, Mark. And if it did bounce out, it's a ground rule double. And unfortunately for the Mustangs, then you'd have runners on second and third. Because all you got to do as an umpire is go look for the ball to see if it's there, unless they lost it and they're claiming it was a home run. But I don't think it was a home run, Mark, unless the wind took it. What did you see?
Yeah, I never could find track of the ball, as Hayden Neese, the left fielder, appeared discombobulated, could not find the ball. He didn't know it was in front of him or landed behind him. Umpire's talking it over now.
Well, they're not bringing anybody back.
Yeah, I thought at first they were going to send runners back. They did not, and the Mustang fans loving it. They have not put the runs on the board yet.
With that, Mark, that puts the Mustangs back in the game right away. One pitch.
Yeah, that would be 3 runs with coming in with nobody out in the inning. And they're still kind of talking this over.
Now, for sure, somehow it appeared like the left fielder had lost it. Like right away, he didn't know where it was. Mm-hmm. It could have hit over his head and bounced over, because there's no ball in the field. It didn't stay inside.
Yeah, and what I'm not understanding is if they don't see the ball on the field of play somewhere, they don't call ground rule double at that point?
that's when you have to call it immediately. But let me go make sure. I'll be right back, Mr.
All right,
May.
go check with the official score and get an explanation. Now they've put the 3 runs on the board. It shows 9-6. Mustangs trailing by 3. Still a deficit to climb out of, but a moment ago they were down 6 runs. And they get an unusual 3-run inside the park home run, apparently. That brought in 3 runs. And it is a 3-run homer. Is that correct, Mario?
Yes, Mark, that's what they tell me. It's a 3-run homer. And that's why the top of the 6th inning was so important for the Mustangs to just hang on and not give up the 4 runs that they did. But, I mean, that makes a game very interesting again because the Mustangs still have 6 outs. They have no outs in this inning. And now a reliever is coming in. And from what I understand, this is a good reliever, too. Has experience. So we'll see if the Mustangs can they got to just get some more base runners on.
Yeah, Flores would now, with that home run, would be 3 RBI, 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBI for him in this game, as he had also scored back in the 2nd inning. And the score now 9-6 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And like you said, Mario, the Mustangs still have all 3 outs to work with here in the 6th and in the 7th as well.
And that's what I was talking about, Mark, that the Mustangs, sometimes when they feel like they need to do something, they do something. And very important to score those 3 runs because they hadn't scored since the 2nd inning. So coming back and trying to get a little bit of momentum on their side is very, very important.
And the pitcher warming up is their catcher, Tanner Beck.
Yeah, Tanner Beck, he's got a good arm.
Yeah, see who the new catcher is.
He should be warmed up already. I mean, he's been catching the whole game, no?
Unable to see the catcher, the new catcher's number, as he has the his equipment on.
He'll get it right now. It's hard.
But Tanner Beck is now on the pitcher's mound. He's a right-hander.
Let's see if Gil Aguirre can get the rally going.
And Gael Aguirre will bat. It's the DH. He walked in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th. Mustangs have plated 3 runs here in the 6th inning and still have nobody out. Antlers 9 runs on 9 hits with 2 errors, and Mustangs 6 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Here's the first pitch from Beck, right-hander. That's a called strike on Aguirre.
Yeah, Beck should have. He's warmed up, Mark. He's thrown a lot of balls back to the pitcher.
There's the 0-1. And again, Aguirre looks at that one. This one's a ball. It's 1-1. Antlers, with their 9 runs, have also stranded 9 runners today. Mustangs have stranded 3. It's the 1-1 to Aguirre. Outside, it'll be ball 2. Wind blowing out to left field. Outside again. It's going to be 3-1 now to Aguirre.
And this is all you wanted the Mustangs to do, Mark. Is just make it difficult for the Antlers to win a game.
Swung on and missed. 3-1 now to Aguirre.
With a 3-ball, 1-strike count, Aguirre had the green light. It looked like a good pitch to hit. He just didn't get it.
So full count. And strikes out. Swinging does Aguirre. And Beck is got the first one away.
It's a huge out for the Antlers. Because the bottom of the order has done a good job in the past game, the first game, but because all you want to do is get some base runners for the top of your order.
And Mustangs approaching the top of the order. This is number 8 in the order right here, Lucas Cabrera. And he'll be followed up by Kane Coy. And if those two make it out, then the Mustangs would be set up for the top of the order coming up in the 7th inning.
You can tell that Beck has a pretty good arm, pretty good fastball coming in.
Pitch from Beck. Yeah, that's a called strike. And it's going to be 1-1 now here on Cabrera. Cabrera 0 for 2 today. It's a strikeout and a pop out. And takes a strike there. It'll be 2-2.
And that looked like the ball was inside.
The 2-2 pitch from Beck. And this is pop foul. It'll stay 2-2.
Good job by Tanner Beck coming in and attacking the strike zone, making the Mustangs earn it.
Two-two pitch, and this is fouled off. And again, Cabrera keeps himself alive at the plate.
He did. That one looked like a defensive swing, but that's what good hitters do. Stay alive, no matter what.
Two-two. And this is swung on, hit towards center field. Base hit for Cabrera, and the runner is aboard.
Good job by Cabrera hanging in there. They're going to get a courtesy runner for him.
And that'll be coming in number 2, Itziel Gonzalez will run for Cabrera. Gonzalez actually scored the winning run in the series clinching run against the Mackay Bulldogs in Game 3 of their series.
And Coy just has to battle. He's been doing very well today and Thursday. He just needs to do whatever he can to get on base.
So Coy is 1 for 2 today. It's a 2 RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Then he lined out to third base in the 5th.
Now, can you imagine with runners on base and Jose Rivera coming in?
Oh, and this is swung on, hit. It looks like it's going to go foul. Antlers unable to make a play on it. It'll be 1-1.
And you can hear the fans. I think it's the Antler fans because we know there was a confusion in that home run. Did it bounce over the fence or nobody knows, Mark. Nobody knows.
It's a mystery ball. So 1-1 with 1 out, 1 aboard. Throw over to first, and the courtesy runner, Gonzalez, dives back in time.
Well, something to think about, Mark, since the pitcher was the catcher. Now you have your backup catcher who behind the plate. So,
And the 1-1 pitch is low for ball 2.
and we'll see what happens with a backup catcher when he has a challenge, either having to make a tough stop.
And Coy lets that one come in. It's going to be 3-1 now. On deck circle, Eric Serrano's at the top of the order for the Mustangs. Mustangs not done yet here in the 6th. They have only 1 out. They've already brought in 3 runs, looking to add more. This is swung on, hit, popped up into shallow left. Neese under it and makes the out. And that will retire Coy. 2 out in the Mustang 6th with 1 runner on.
With a 3-1 count, Mark, that was a big pitch by Beck. Give him credit.
So 2 outs in the inning. Gonzalez, the courtesy runner, on for Cabrera at first. And 2 outs here as Eric Serrano comes up to bat. And he swings at the first pitch. There's going to be a base hit into left field. Gonzalez going to stay at second. And Serrano safe at first base. And the Mustangs have 2 runners aboard with 2 out in the inning with their big guy, Jose Rivera, coming up.
Boy, give the Mustangs credit. Down 9-3 coming into this inning and putting up a real good fight. I mean, Coach Cortines will take this. Your big guy at the plate, the tying run. Let's see what he can do. He's done it all year.
Yeah, they're down 6 runs at the start of this inning. Now they've managed to bring the tying run to the plate. In fact, if Rivera gets aboard, then the Mustangs will bat around here in the 6th inning. The 1-0 pitch.
With Rivera ahead of the count, more than likely Beck's going to come in with a fastball. And you know Rivera is a real good fastball hitter.
So it's 2-0 now to Rivera. Rivera's singled and walked twice today.
This is exactly the batter that Coach Cortines wants at the plate right now.
Wind blowing out to left. The pitch from Beck. And that's a called strike. It'd be 2-1.
Looked like Rivera just wanted to see another pitch, Mark. That's only the 3rd pitch he's seen from this pitcher, so that's what good batters do. They just want to see some pitches.
Bressa on deck for the Mustangs. And this is outside, ball 3. Rivera showing a good eye there at the plate.
That's a patient eye. That was close pitch. You know he's got the green light, Mark.
So 3-1 with 2 outs. 2 runners aboard. And this is swung on, hit towards short. Bouncer, throw to second in time to retire the side. But the Mustangs do get 3 across and have cut the 6-run deficit in half. They trail 9-6 after 6 innings. We'll head to the 7th when we come back.
Hey, ready, ready, ready. To go. To go. Hey, where's he at?
Not here today, man. Attendance today, success tomorrow. Attendance matters.
What was on one?
Attendance today, success tomorrow. Attendance matters.
And welcome back here at Cabinets Field, Corpus Christi. Game 2 of our best of 3 series in Class 5A, the regional semifinal. Winner goes to the regional final for Class 5A. And we've got Kane Coy, who's now moved from center field to pitch here in the 7th inning for the Mustangs. Mustangs trailing 9-6, looking to hold off the Antlers in the top of the 7th. And perhaps tie it up in the bottom of the 7th. They have just 3 outs to work with.
And what Coach Cortines wants out of Kane Coy is just to keep it there. Keep it there. The Mustangs, they brought the tying run to the plate. That's all you need. That's all you want. I'd like to send out a shout out to a former McAllen Mustang baseball player, Michael Martinez, who's listening to this broadcast.
Well, the Antlers got 4 runs across in the 6th inning as they batted around.
But I guarantee you that bottom of the 6th, I guarantee you it made Coach Chris Russ very uncomfortable. Especially when you have at the plate Jose Rivera, who had the power and hit a big home run against the McAllen Bulldogs in the previous series.
And Bailey Blaker will lead off. He's number 2 in the order for the Tivy Antlers. He actually got aboard with an error on the left fielder in the last inning, eventually scored. He also got aboard with a single and scored in the 4th inning, struck out in the 2nd, walked in the 1st. So he's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI today. Pretty busy day for Mr. Blaker.
Because of the staff the Mustangs have, Coy hasn't pitched a lot, but he is a pitcher.
Coy's first pitch looked like a breaking ball outside for a ball. Misses again. Now it's ball 2, 2-0. Top of the 7th here in Corpus Christi. Antlers up 9-6.
Lots of base runners, lots of hits. This game it's already 2 hours and 45 minutes in the books.
3-0 by Coy, misses. And the lead runner is aboard here in the Antlers 7th. It's the 9th walk the Mustang pitching is allowed today. And this will bring up Aiden Klein. Now, Klein was relieved on the mound in the last inning. They found a way to keep him in the game. I didn't notice if he was substituted for one of the fielders or if he's now the DH.
He's just too good of a player to not be in a batting order.
Klein has reached twice today on a walk and hit by a pitch, scored both those times. He's 0 for 2 officially. Has a 2-0 count right now with nobody out and a runner on here in the top of the 7th. If it goes to game 3, the Mustangs would again be the home team. They'd stay on the third base side. And there's a called strike. Blaker takes a conservative lead at first. Now a throw over to first, and he has to dive back safely. It's the 2-1 from Coy. Swung on, fouled back on the left side. It'd be 2-2 now on Klein.
You know, Mark, we reflect back on this game. Lots of unusual things happened here today. Just things. That's baseball.
Inside the park, 3-run homer. That was that was pretty unusual.
Yeah.
We've already seen 2 plays at the plate, one by each team. Here's the 2-2. This is swung on, popped up into left center. Center fielder is settling under it and makes the catch. And that'll be 1 out.
Big out for Kane Coy to get a little bit of confidence. His first out as a pitcher in this game. Both teams hitting the ball very well. The Antlers with 9 hits. The Mustang with 8 hits. Lots of base runners.
Not sure just yet who the new center fielder is in there for Coy. Coy on the mound. His first pitch to Hayden Neese is a ball. Neese is 0 for 2 today. Has struck out twice, but he's reached on a hit by a pitch and also walked and eventually scored back in the 6th inning when the Antlers plated 4 runs. It's going to be 2-0 now.
Coy has a good arm. He's got a good pop. You can hear the pop in the mitt all the way up here. He just doesn't pitch a lot, so his thing is about control and throwing strikes.
And pitch, swing and a miss there by Neese. And it'll be 2-1.
Two teams that are very similar. Two teams that have won 3-game series.
The 2-1 with 1 out. Squares up to bunt. Bunts it right back to the pitcher. Coy is going to throw to second and get the lead runner. And they got him out. And there's 2 away. Smart heads-up play there by Coy.
Very good play. I was kind of like, no, don't throw it to second. Get your sure out at first. But the bunt was kind of hard. So the base runner from first did not get a big jump.
So Blaker out at second. Neese is at first on a fielder's choice.
Neese has good speed, Mark.
And the batter is
There he
Connor
goes.
Bloomer. And runner is going. Here's the throw by Cabrera in the dirt, and the runner is safe, and Neese has a stolen base.
And you know, because the Mustangs also scored 3 runs in the last inning, you know, Coach Chris Russ from Tivy, he wants another run.
Bloomer is 2 for 3 today. A couple of singles and a strikeout. Also walked.
The Mustangs in the bottom of the 7th will have the meat of their order with Presa, Lozano, and Sanchez.
It's 2-0 now to Bloomer. 2 out in the inning. Runner on second. And it's going to be high, and it's going to be 3-0. Mustangs, 6 runs on 8 hits with 1 error. Antlers, 9 runs on 9 hits with 2 errors today. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's a called strike. Bloomer didn't think so. He was trotting for first base already. But he'll have to come back. It'll be 3-1 now.
And there are batters that do that to you, Mark, as an umpire. They try to, like, sell the call. Like, oh, you're going to call a ball. I'm going to first.
It's a 3-1 with 2 out. And that's a called strike. And again, Bloomer thought he had ball 4. And now Bloomer facing a full count.
And maybe that was a strike because the umpire didn't like that Bloomer tried to act like it's a ball. Why are you calling that a ball? I usually would tell the batter, stay in the box. Don't be leaving like that.
So 3-2 with 2 out. Runner going, swung on, fouled off on the left side.
Oh, you can hear the Antlers. You hear the fans? They're not forgetting what happened.
Yes. They're talking about that 3-run homer where the left fielder simply lost sight of the ball. And the Mustangs circled the bases. So 0-1 now to Bloomer. Oh, it hit the, it is Bloomer, and he is hit by the pitch. They had zeroed out the count. It was still 3-2. They had put 0-1 up there mistakenly, but either way, Bloomer is hit by the pitch, and he'll be at first. Neese still at second base. 2 outs in the inning. Third baseman Adon Hernandez comes up now. Hernandez reached on an error in the last inning, eventually scored. This is low for ball 1.
It's not an easy job to come in, Mark, and hold down a lead. I mean, when you're behind 3 runs.
Hernandez 1 for 2 today with 2 walks. He scored 2 runs as well. Runners on first and second, the 1-0 and a hit batter. And now the bases will be loaded with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Consecutive hit batters. And we had a fielder's choice. And so without surrendering a hit this inning, the Antlers have the bases loaded with 2 out in the top of the 7th.
And Cortines comes out to talk to Coy. Try to settle him down. Trying to get him to throw strikes and make the Antlers earn their runs.
This game almost 3 hours old now. Seeing the teams combined for 15 runs on 17 hits, 3 errors.
A ton of walks.
Yeah, a lot of walks today. 5 surrendered by the Antlers, and the Mustangs have given up 8. Or actually 9. Next batter's Robert Johnson, the first baseman.
You know, Kane Coy is doing everything he can to try to throw strikes. But for pitchers, that's when sometimes it's the hardest, when you're struggling.
Johnson 1 for 3 today. Here's the 1-0. And that's outside. It's ball 2.
And then something else that happens, Mark, when a pitcher can't hit his zone, the umpire doesn't give you the benefit of the doubt. You remember Greg Maddox when he pitched?
Oh, yes.
He would hit his target every time. he'd always get the strikes.
Multiple Cy Young winner with the Cubs and Braves.
See, there were two very close pitches that he didn't get. And you're looking at Coach Cortines coming out and questioning, like, hey, man, you got to call that.
Yeah, 3-0 with 2 out. The Antlers have the bases loaded, threatening to add some insurance here in the 7th inning.
You know he's got the take sign.
And that pitch right over the plate, going to be 3-1.
You can tell Kane Coy is not happy because he has to throw the ball like perfectly to get a strike call.
Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Johnson, who was ahead in the count 3-0, now at 3-2. So full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, everybody moving on the pitch. And this is swung on, hit to left field.
Should be caught.
And it's caught by Serrano to retire the side. So the Antlers load the bases but get no runs across in the top of the 7th inning. They still lead 9-6 with the Mustangs coming up to bat.
McAllen ISD's world-class pre-kinder program is now open to all 4-year-old children, and it's free. Just register through the Skyward system. Don't have an account? No problem. Contact one of our elementary campuses or the Student Outreach Department at 956-687-MISD. Give your child a solid start to their educational journey. Register for free pre-K today. McAllen ISD has teamed up with the Hidalgo County Head Start to offer a free program. It's the perfect opportunity for 3-year-olds. This all-day program will place them with a certified teacher. Other advantages include high-quality instruction, dual language lessons in English and Spanish, around-the-clock supervision, and it's free. Children not only learn academics, but their social development will skyrocket too. This fall, the program will be offered at 6 elementary schools. Restrictions apply, so call this number or visit the website and apply today.
And we're back here in Corpus Christi, 9-6. Last chance for the Mustangs. If they can come back, force extra innings, or come back and win, they can clinch the series. They're trailing right now 9-6, and the Antlers, they can hold on. Will even up the series at 1 game apiece, and they'll play Game 3, 30 minutes from the end of Game 2. By the way, one of the reasons this game's gone 3 hours, Mario, in addition to 15 runs and a combined 17 hits, the Tivy Antlers have stranded 12 base runners. Memorial stranded 6. So there have been a lot of people on the base paths today.
Lot of activity. Lots. And we'll see if that comes back to haunt the Antlers because they had opportunities to put this game away, you know, and they didn't. But
it's kind of like when you, a boxer, you can't knock the other guy out and just let the guy kind of hang in there. Eventually, one punch can come back and haunt you.
And my hats go off to Kane Coy, down 3-0 on the count. He got a big out because you're only down 3. And these Mustangs, they've proven that they're very dangerous at any given moment. They just have to get base runners on.
So Presa will be the first batter for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's the last chance for the Mustangs. Mustangs were down by 6 runs. They were able to score 3 in the 6th inning. Looking for 3 more here. 2 balls and no strikes on Presa. Presa 1 for 3 today. A single and a ground out and a strikeout.
This is not good news. The Mustangs will take it, though.
3-0 now on Presa. And he's going to walk on 4 pitches.
Well, like I said, Mark, sometimes, you know, Coach Chris Russ just say, hey, throw strikes. We got you. And those are the hardest to throw.
And that'll put the tying run on deck. Going to be a courtesy runner here for the Mustangs for Pressa. And it'll be number 19, David On, the winning pitcher from Thursday night.
I can see why he's going to the University of Houston, Mark. He's got a great arm, good fastball, good breaking ball, and decent control. 11 strikeouts on Thursday. Did not allow a hit.
Tanner Beck still on the pitcher's mound. He's going to throw over to first. And the pinch runner on back safely.
Now Beck is having problems for finding the strike zone.
1-0 here to Lozano. And that's called strike. Fastball. It'll be 1-1. And that's swung on and fouled back.
One thing for sure, Mark, the batters have seen a lot of pitches today.
1-2 pitch.
He got hit, Mark.
I think it hit him. Yeah, you're right. Eloy Lozano is aboard, and the Mustangs have 2 runners on with nobody out in the 7th, and they now got the tying run at the plate.
Mark, you know why the coach, Chris Russ, is coming to talk to the plate umpire?
Now, why is that?
Well, he's thinking that the batter was not in the strike zone when he got hit. I mean, he was in the strike zone, maybe put his hands in front, and that shouldn't happen. So, hey, smart play. This is exactly what the Mustangs needed. Give yourself a chance. Make the Antlers earn the win. A hit here, Mark, can make it very interesting.
We're going to have another courtesy runner. This will be number 20, Caleb Trevino.
So what has Jacob Sanchez done today, Mark?
Jacob Sanchez has actually scored twice despite no hits. He's 0 for 2 today.
Has he struck out?
He's grounded out and reached on a fielder's choice. He's also walked.
Okay, so he's put the ball in play.
And he's scored 2 runs himself.
Because he's a tying run, he is the most important hitter for the Mustangs right now.
There's the 0-1 from Beck. Like a low fastball. And that's going to be 1-1. One and one, nobody out. 2 runners on. The toss to Sanchez is a called strike. It'll be 1-2 now on Jacob Sanchez.
And Sanchez didn't like that call, but this umpire has been giving the inside corner all afternoon.
Daniel Flores, the second baseman, is on deck. He had that 3-run homer in the 6th inning. That missed outside. It'll be 2-2. Two and two with 2 on. Swung on and missed. And Sanchez becomes out number 1. He's now 0 for 3 today, and that's his first time he struck out. So that brings up the second baseman, Daniel Flores, who is 1 for 2 today with 3 RBI and 2 runs scored.
Is he the one that got the home run?
That's right.
How about another one right now?
That would tie it up. He represents the tying run. 1 out here in the 7th. And takes a called strike, the outside part of the plate. Going to have a pinch hitter come up after this. Warming up right now is number 2, Itzel Gonzalez, in place of Gael Aguirre. Here's the 0-1 to Flores. No, not quite. Beck steps off.
Anytime you get a scholarship offer, Mark, that means you're a pretty good player. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Daniel Flores just signing this week to Luna Community College. Takes a strike right there, and it's 0-2. Lucas Cabrera, the other one, who signed to Luna Community College. Oh and 2, 1 out. Swung on and missed, and Flores becomes the second strikeout victim of the inning. So Beck, it looks like he started off the inning kind of shaky, allowing the first 2 batters to reach, but has struck out the last 2. And now we've got a pinch runner and Itzel Gonzalez. We've seen Gonzalez in this game as a courtesy runner, but now his first appearance at the plate. And he represents the tying run now, but the Mustangs in a hole with 2 outs.
Give the pitcher credit, Mark. He came up with 2 big outs on strikeouts.
Lucas Cabrera is warming up in the batter's circle. Fastball by Beck. On the outside, it's 0-1. Mustangs have runners on first and second with the tying run at home plate. The 0-1. This is swung on, hit toward third. He's going to throw it to first. It's too high. All the runners will advance. Here's come a Mustang across the plate, and the runners advance to second and third. Oh, the Antlers had the game won right there. The third baseman was looking for the tag out, but the runner on second slowed up and took away the tag opportunity, and so he decided to take the sure out at first. Well, it wasn't so sure, and they commit their 3rd error of the game, and the Mustangs now trail 9-7.
I guarantee you, Mark, if that kid had to do it all over again, all he had to do was go touch third base or even touch the runner. But he felt like he could get the out at first.
David on the courtesy runner for Presa was the one who scored.
And you know where the tying run is right now? It's at second base.
Third error of the game on the Antlers. And I've got, yeah, you're right, the tying run at second. Runners on second and third as Cabrera takes ball 1. And now it's 2-0 to Cabrera. If Cabrera walks, the bases will be loaded. Mustangs down 9-7. And that's outside. 3-0 now to Cabrera.
And now the pressure's on the pitcher to try. Don't allow the winning run to get on base.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. And, of course, Cabrera was taking that one all the way to be 3-1. Mustangs have runners on second and third. Need 2 runs to tie it up. They're down 9-7. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning.
It's a good timeout. by Cabrera. Try to get the pitcher a little anxious.
Kane Coy on deck and swung on and missed. Or no, was he?
The pop
He
up.
popped it up in the air. All the Mustangs are running. Of course, it's caught just beyond second base.
We're
and that's
going
the
to
third
game
out.
number 3, Mark.
Yep, 9-7 our final score. And the Antlers win it. They get 9 runs on 9 hits with 3 errors. The Mustangs 7 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. The series is tied 1 game apiece. They'll take a 30-minute break and they'll play game 3, which we'll have for you after a short break. So get rested up. You can check your email, check your phone right quick, and then we'll see you for game 3 in approximately 30 minutes.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray, hoping for the light of day. Down to the river, I have held the devil's hand, felt the weight of my own sin.